So throughout this nationwide lockdown period, I had no access to my university's lab equipment to complete my project. However, this Keysight portable oscilloscope assisted me in my project by accurately keeping track of data signals for me to visualize right in the comfort of my own home.
It was a huge challenge for us to gain access to the suitable equipment for our project. Fortunately, Intel was generous in providing us with the D1 SoC board to test our image processing program so that the validity of hardware-software partitioning could be verified.
Innovate Malaysia provides me a platform to expose to more latest technology in this industry, and at the same time I can discover what improvement is needed in my project to make it outstanding in the competition.
That really give me real-time situation or real-life example or scenarios that might be related to my projects, which will enhance my understanding on how to tackle the problem that has been verified, which will meet the objective more precisely.
From the training provided, our team was able to understand the fundamental drivers of the project. It enabled us to produce a master plan to kickstart the project. This includes determining the utilities and infrastructures to be considered during the project, how it fits into our strategic plan.
The industrial provide training is very interesting and useful, especially for the OpenVINO toolkits training and also the explanation about the user interface and the user experience, which can be designed into our software and also system implementation.
Training sections provided, it actually helps me a lot by enhancing my problem-solving skill, especially in brainstorming productive idea to solve a problem. And this actually helps me a lot when working with a group of intelligent people with different ideas.
IMDC provides training on design thinking and effective methods on presentation, especially in elevator pitch, other than just technical training. So this helps greatly in helping me find the correct audience for the project and make an impact on the intended audience.
The industry mentoring helped me by giving constructive feedback toward my current solution. The mentoring session guided me to the right track on how to use the Azure services and how to read the data provided. From that, I have a better understanding on how to solve the problem.
The mentor has provided many suggestions in our project, especially the marketing target, the material selection, and the prototype design.
The industry mentors also help us to recognize that there were areas that we need to give more focus on, and the feedback from them was very helpful and opened up several ideas on ways to improve our prototype further.
So this year, there were 215 teams from 27 universities nationwide participating in various technology and design challenge tracks. After a year of competition activities, 36 teams made it to the grand finale. They have won a total of 69,500 ringgit in cash prizes and other prize items. Later, the first prize winners of the respective tracks will compete for the Innovate Malaysia Excellence Award. Today's agenda starts with a welcome speech by Crest, then an innovation talk by Intel, after which the Innovate Malaysia Excellence Award judging will begin. At the end of the judging, MDEC will deliver a closing speech, and finally, the winners of the Innovate Malaysia Special Awards will be announced. Without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Jeffrey Ibrahim, CEO of Crest, to give a welcome speech to kick off this online event.
Thank you so much. Very good morning to everyone. So Dr. Hor Po Jin, the CEO of Dreamcatcher, Mr. Sunil Churuvu, the Chief IoT Security Architect of Intel Corporation, Associate Professor Dr. Azrul Nizam Abdul Manaf, Deputy Director of SIDAC, ladies and gentlemen. So very good morning to all of you and a very warm welcome to the closing ceremony of the Innovate Malaysia Design Competition 2021. So before I begin, allow me to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all academia, industry, and government partners for making this event possible. We are indeed honored once again to be part of this, the largest design competition in Malaysia, and to play an integral role in shaping engineering talent of the future. CRES's involvement with IMDC can be traced back to 2014 when we were invited to be the judge at the competition. In 2020, CRES assumed the role of as a design challenge track partner for the event and subsequently as a main sponsor for the year 2021. As one of the top engineering competitions in Malaysia, IMDC has proven its steed in promoting an innovative culture among students. In addition to exposing them to real-world challenges that test their wit and skills to develop sustainable engineering solutions for the ecosystem. The competition has been earmarked by CREST as a key contributor to our talent development initiatives and an avenue for us to seek and fund potential R&D projects that create value for the industries we are involved in. So ladies and gentlemen, the IMDC is a perfect example of the coming together of the industry, academia, and government to collaborate and build a sustainable pipeline of talent pool for Malaysia. These public-private partnerships are key to building our talent gap and ensuring that our students are equipped with the right skills and knowledge to become industry-ready graduates. The competition also sets the stage for development of talent that is required by high-tech industries in Malaysia to support the growth and transformation of the E&E industry as we move from manufacturing-centric activities to higher value R&D initiatives. Ladies and gentlemen, at CRES, we believe in the spirit of collaboration and strive to work with the industry and academia to grow a pool of domain experts, as well as equipped students with knowledge and skills for the future of work. Our collaborative partnership with industry partners and other ecosystem stakeholders in talent development has to date benefited over 8,000 university students from more than 30 universities, and with the support of more than 150 industry partners. We have nurtured a pool of domain experts and equipped students with industry-relevant knowledge and skills for the future of work. Our programs have currently produced 250 plus industry-trained masters and PhD students and postgraduate researchers. So before I end, allow me to congratulate the winners of IMDC 2021. I wish all of you success in your future endeavors. I would like to also thank the academia, industry, and government partners for organizing yet another impactful competition, and we look forward to more collaborations of such nature in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Jeffrey. So next is the innovation talk by Mr. Sunil Cheruvu from Intel Corporation with the title, Why and What Regarding Edge Security Implications. Mr. Sunil is the Chief IoT Security Architect and a Senior Principal Engineer in the Internet of Things Group at Intel Corporation. He leads the IoT Security Architecture Global Team chartered with innovating and developing security solutions to help mitigate the IoT's unique threats, cyber and cyber-physical systems, across all the market domains, including military, aerospace, government, retail, industrial, and vision. He is a distinguished speaker at external conferences and technology summits. Mr. Sunil, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you for that introduction. And first of all, my sincere gratitude for inviting me over here and able to, if I can convince some of you, some of the students or some of the audience to actually jump into security. And I heard the mention of R&D, expenditure or funding going up. And so absolutely, welcome the opportunity. And again, thank you for this opportunity for me to present. So let me go ahead and bring the deck up. Okay. Okay, I hope you can see what I'm presenting. And so in this keynote, I would like to take the time available to actually talk about the threat landscape, and then talk about some of the threat groups that are pertinent for the IoT and edge security, and also explore some core security capabilities. And in conclusion, I want to articulate some of the innovative areas that are applicable to most of the research and industry, the audience that is gathered here. So as you can see out here, if you scan or if you just read the news or scan the internet, you can see that there are attacks all over the place. When you look at, whether they are, banks, or the hospitals that are being held for ransom, or the oil pipelines, for example, the Colonial Pipeline, or supply chain related attacks where SolarWinds system has been, the update system has been hacked. So as you can see, we are literally at the edge. And I think it really, makes sense that we talk about security at the edge. Including the IoT devices, because there is no lack of the threats and attacks and the compromises. And gone are the days where the compromise is a benign, statement-making compromise. But now, people, hackers have started really, demanding money, as it is in the ransomware cases. Now, when you look at the landscape itself, I would like to all of you in the audience to think about the opportunity in front of us, right? Let's not think about it as a challenge. For example, what we have in front of us is the billions of devices with trillions of sensors. That's the magnitude of the opportunity, right? And then the IDC predicts that there will be close to 56 or 60 billion devices, connected devices by 2025. And these devices are actually proliferating into automotive, consumer, industrial, medical, and think about it, consumer electronics is in there, and everything, including the nuclear power grids or regular power grids. All the sectors are actually impacted by this. And the IoT related vulnerabilities, if you scan the National Vulnerability Database, and if you run some metrics, just in 2019, there was close to 500% increase in the security related incidents, right? And the workloads are actually moving from cloud to edge and edge to cloud, really important to note. And any unpatched systems or update systems, weak update systems will be exploited or being exploited. For example, SolarWinds, as we have seen, and Stuxnet and Ukrainian power grid, etc. Right? So what is required here as a part of the criticality is the trust between the devices and the network, device to device and device to network, right? And this is actually exciting a lot of hacker communities, right? So really an interesting place to be right now if you think about it. Now on this slide, what I want to show is an end-to-end flow. You have IoT devices coming and converging, from the left into the edge compute node, and from there it goes to the on-prem data center core network, and then the cloud. Now think of this: if somebody can compromise the IoT device or the edge device, either the data doesn't go to the square bracket that we have here, or it gets tainted. So either there won't be any data or the data would be tainted. So no matter how much security we put in on the right side, if we don't bolster the security on the left side, on the IoT and the edge side, it will be a game over scenario, right? And then this is also being exacerbated by, the attack surfaces are increasing, and then the sophistication and the intent is also evolving for hacking, right? And then as it is in the IoT and edge ecosystems, we have lots of vendors coming in with lots of solutions, and and we will see why so, and then we will dig into it, when it comes to the edge uniqueness and challenges. But as you can see in the big end-to-end scheme of things, our edge to cloud scheme of things here, securing the devices and the edge has become, paramount, right? And so that's one thing, that's one key takeaway that I want to the audience to get out of it. Now on this slide, what I would like to talk about is when you think about it, what is so unique about the edge, right? And then if you cannot really talk about the attributes or the characteristics that make the edge or IoT devices unique, then we cannot be ready and solve the challenges associated with it. So one thing that is so different from other devices is, as you can see on the right side, the edge in the middle, it has its own unique requirements. For example, latency, right? The bandwidth and the security properties and the connectivity properties. And add to this the long life. As an example, the IoT devices and the edge devices, whether they are base stations or on-premise edge devices, the expectation is that it will be in the field for up to 15 years, or more than 15 years, actually. If you think about it, some of the industrial devices are expected to be in the field for almost 25 years, right? So what does this mean? This means that these devices should be upgradable, and the security itself should be upgraded every year, meaning that the patches and maintaining the security posture through upgrades and patches is a key one, is a critical one, right? And so that's one thing. And then these devices and edge devices actually are built using different firmware, diverse firmware and software stacks. What does that mean? That not all of these have one operating system or two. Actually, they may be within the same network. There could be devices built with different operating systems, Linux, Windows, real-time operating systems, right? And the bootloaders, there could be many bootloaders and hypervisors. What does this do? This actually complicates the threat surfaces that we as engineers, right, our researchers need to look at. And then the resiliency also is a question. These devices usually go through over the air firmware software updates and also application over the air updates. And then, most of these devices are essentially remote and headless, right? And so you have no indication of a user interface or anything. If you're looking for something, you have to have some kind of out of band, alerting infrastructure or triggering infrastructure. And the extended use conditions is another attribute or characteristic of the IoT and edge devices, where if you're looking at extended temp, let's look at extended temp, reliability and availability. All of these are essential, because if you have a bulletin board 20 feet, 30 feet high, let's say on a highway, and it's a digital bulletin board, you cannot easily get to it, right? And then, that's one of the, areas are difficult to reach areas. And then extended temp, meaning that there are some attacks that can happen when the temperature, when you can increase the temperature or lower the temperature really, to lower than the average levels. And then the physical intrusions, we talked about it. If the device or the edge, IoT device or the edge can actually be, touched physically, or the chassis could be opened up. And then, if you think about these edge base stations in an oil field, that is another, hostile area in some environments, particular environments, and that is also a key. And when you think about the IoT and edge devices, another challenge that we see that's coming up pretty quickly is the regulations, the government regulations, and the standards coming from both US and Europe and Asia, APAC region or Asia region as well. So if you think about all these challenges with all the diverse operating systems and the devices coming from different vendors within a network, how does a network administrator manage these devices? And almost immediately standards would come to our mind. And that's what the graphic, the picture on the right side is meant to show, that there are different activities that are happening, across the world. When you look at the US, there is an IoT Cybersecurity Improvement Act that has recently been passed. And also NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology, is actually actively involved in regulating some of these cybersecurity, both cybersecurity and cyber physical systems. And in the ISO IEC side, there are different standards that are also coming up. And in the EU side, similarly, they are drafting off of, most of these are drafting off of each other. But at the end of the day, I think for this audience, the standards and the regulations are going to be crucial, and we are starting this journey. So that is a ripe field for again, research and convergence, and development as well. Okay, so now if we dive into, we were going to be talking about securing the edge. So what are some of the, threat groups that we actually should be looking at? Now, most of these are common across, I would say, PC or the client systems and the server systems. But some of these are become unique once you start digging into it. So as you can see, the system compromise or theft, it's already there. You can remotely, if you can remotely actually compromise a system, that is of a higher value for the hacker community. And with the same way, they can also do a theft or a repurposing of the system. That includes, crypto mining and those use cases where hackers could actually take control of your home computer or the laptop, and then use it for basically crypto mining and other activities. Data theft is really big, and both at rest data and in transit data are all vulnerable for this data theft. That's one threat group. And then the other threat group is the provisioning and updating process. Think of it where, if your device has the default password, and it has not been changed, that is a really a ripe situation for attack. It's an easy, low-hanging fruit for attackers because they could just use the default password. So, and believe it or not, most of the compromises, until last year were of, because of this nature, where the default passwords have not been changed on the routers and on the gateways, and even in the devices, right? And then, in addition to that, updating is a big issue as well. If you don't patch the devices, if you don't update the firmware or the software, then absolutely the vulnerabilities that are in the existing firmware and software would be leveraged to actually, steal the assets or take control of the system, and then migrate into these other threat groups. And the identity theft, equally important, and it happens quite often, where you have your credit card information is stolen, or your different attacks and compromise of different assets could be linked together, essentially to get to your high value targets. And then if you go to the content graffiti, which is essentially the content that gets shown when you walk into a Macy's store, or it's Macy's is in US, but if you think of any shopping mall or store where you walk in, and then there is some content that gets shown, tailored advertisement content that gets shown, and imagine if that content has been compromised, and then some graffiti gets shown, which is a really uncomfortable and undesirable situation. So, many of us don't even think about that particular attack, but that also has happened. And the virus and malware has been, around for quite some time, where, using different buffer overflow, underflow attacks, and other mechanisms to actually infect the firmware or software running on a system, and the malware gets implanted, and that malware is used further to spread laterally, or spread from top to bottom, or laterally to infect other areas, and then be able to extract more assets out of our secrets out of the system. Okay, and the key takeaway here is that almost all the IoT market sectors and edge market sectors are vulnerable to these threats, not just one. So again, the key takeaway is every sector is vulnerable. So if you can focus on one or other or many, the area is ripe for research and development. And then now, if you consider the capabilities, the core security capabilities that that are essential. So, okay, we talked about the threat groups, and then before that we talked about the threats that were happening across the board. But what do we need in a silicon or in a firmware or in a system? Right. So I would like to call it call them as buckets. But the first bucket is the hardware root of trust, essentially a hardware provided mechanism for anchoring the trust or establishing the trust. And then from that point on, we call it secure boot, or the mechanism where the boot ingredients are authenticated before starting them. And then using that, both the code and the data during the boot process is actually protected. So hardware root of trust essentially helps you to create a trust anchor, and then using secure boot, you can actually use hardware to authenticate the firmware, and then the firmware would authenticate the operating system, and then the operating system would authenticate the applications or the user mode code and the data. Right. But that is just the hardware root of trust. Now, if you want to store the keys or the secrets, encrypt or protect the secrets, then you absolutely need the tamper resistant storage. And for that, there are different mechanisms, but whatever mechanism, whatever silicon vendor you are exposed to, it is essential to identify what is used for storing them, and then how the keys and the other secrets are protected from tampering. And then that includes the credentials such as certificates and other things too. And then once you have the secure boot, the capability offered by hardware root of trust, and you have the tamper resistant storage, and then now you are into the hardware accelerated cryptography, which means that the functions for encrypting, decrypting, signing, verification, which are key tenets for the security infrastructure, you have to be able to use the hardware that is available, because if you do these operations in the software, sometimes it may not be amicable. So you need to identify what is available in the hardware and try to leverage them. And then also after this comes the runtime, where you want to really protect the applications and the code and the data, whether they are in terms of workloads during execution. So these are the 4 different buckets. And in any silicon or any other solution, even if it is a software only solution, it is essential to actually go ahead and read through and identify and learn and try to leverage and deploy this. Okay, so I think this is really crucial. We have, like I said, we talked about workloads that are moving from cloud to edge. Actually, I want to spend a little bit time on this one. So what does this really mean is, up until now, whatever workloads we have that are running on the cloud, now there is a business drive to actually move those workloads, transfer those workloads to the edge. And there's going to be a lot of these happening going forward. I think I won't be surprised if it reaches $1 trillion in 3 to 4 to 5 years, where those workloads will be executed on edge. But all of a sudden, the cloud, which was relatively secure because of the server walls and other things, now when you bring those same workloads to edge, all of a sudden you are exposed. Right. So securing the edge from the emerging threats and also IoT devices, because remember, the IoT devices are left to the edge. So securing both IoT and the edge devices has become paramount for us. And also because we have, these devices and edge devices are built using stack, which means that there is hardware, there is firmware above that, and there is software above that. Defense in depth strategy is critical, and it should be organic, and the threat modeling should happen at a system level. Now imagine if the threat modeling were to happen or would have happened, SolarWinds would have been caught. Right, because the update server would have been threat modeled, and then you would have looked at the threats and the associated vulnerabilities, and those could have been mitigated, right? So anytime you encounter or you see something, and if you're interested in the security part of it, just think about and try to dig into it and find out, what really went wrong, right? How could this have happened? And then you will then come to know what part of threat modeling actually failed in that area, right? And I know that this is an innovation conference, and I would like to leave some thoughts for all these budding researchers and the industry experts to take away. So innovation has to happen at the hardware level, firmware level, and the software level for security. And a few things that are in our mind, after scanning the industry and what we work on, include the performant crypto, because these workloads are becoming increasingly compute hungry. And with that huge computational needs, the performing cryptographic operations in hardware and with less number of CPU cycles is essential. And attestation is another innovative area. A lot of standards are happening now, something to think about. And trusted or isolated execution environments is absolutely essential for securing these workloads. Homomorphic encryption is another area for innovation, where this is a mechanism where you can operate on the encrypted data without actually revealing the data. Really good for privacy and anonymity. And post-quantum is another ripe area for innovation if someone is trying to get into it. Not just the real post-quantum when it hits us in 2030, but what should we do for the existing cryptographic algorithms and the other situations. And machine learning, deep learning for security is a really big one right now. And that is another area for innovation. There is a lot of opportunities for protecting the AI, machine learning, deep learning assets and using them for security for both. And telemetry and trusted telemetry is another area of innovation where, if you're in the academia or research R&D houses, think about, what information can be made available for making effective judgments for protecting the assets at a system level, right? And then finally, if you are interested in learning more about, what we think about, we have actually, 4 of my colleagues have gotten together and put our collective knowledge into a book, and the PDF is available for free. Please go ahead and, read through that and enjoy developing security. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sunil, for an illuminating talk and for sharing the book. I have placed the link in the chat, so for those who want to download, you can just click on the link in the chat. All right, so typically we have a group photo session at the end of events or meetings. We will have one later, but we also have a special request to do one at the start as well. So if you don't mind, please turn on your cameras for a quick group photo session.
3, 2, 1, start. Okay.
All right, thank you everyone. So next up is the moment all the finalists have been waiting for. So we will begin the Innovate Malaysia Excellence Award judging now. Before we start, I would like to introduce our distinguished guests, judges, sorry. We have Mr. Nick Naharuddin bin Mohammad Nasir, Head of IHLS Development Talent from MDEC, Dr. Ho Po Jin, CEO of Dreamcatcher. We also have Associate Professor TS Dr. Haidawati Mohammad Nasir from IEEE, Madam Azwati Azmin from IEM, and Associate Professor TS IR Dr. Shuhaida Ismail from IET. So the judging will be based on the innovativeness of the project, impact or significance of the project, and the potential for commercialization. So the session will be facilitated by Mr. Kueh Kaho from Dreamcatcher. For your information, we have 8 teams competing for the Excellence Award today. Each team is given 5 minutes to present, with a 1-minute remaining reminder. This will be followed by a Q&A and judge feedback session. So before judging commences, a showcase video of the respective sponsor companies will play, and today's judging sequence is as shown on the screen. Okay, it is interesting to note that all 8 finalist teams are from 8 different universities. All right, so that's all from me. Over to you, Mr. Kueh.
Yeah, thank you, Nikki. So for today's judging, I'll be helping to chair the session. Right. So let us proceed. So for the first team that is going to be judged is coming from the winner of AWS track. And before we start the judging session, then we'll have a showcase video to play from AWS.
AWS is the world's most comprehensive and broadly adopted cloud platform. Millions of customers trust AWS to power their infrastructure and applications. Organizations of every type and size are using AWS to lower costs, become more agile, and innovate faster. AWS provides on-demand delivery of technology services via the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. You can use these services to build and run virtually any type of application without upfront costs or ongoing commitments. You only pay for what you use. AWS gives you more services and more features within those services than any other cloud provider. This makes it faster, easier, and more cost-effective to move your existing applications to the cloud and to build anything you can imagine. From infrastructure technologies like compute, storage, and databases, to emerging technologies such as machine learning and artificial intelligence, data lakes and analytics, and Internet of Things. Building on AWS means you can choose the right tool for the job. For example, AWS offers the widest variety of databases that are purpose-built for different types of applications. With AWS, you can leverage the latest technologies to experiment and innovate more quickly. We are continually accelerating our pace of innovation to invent entirely new technologies you can use to transform your business. Like pioneering the serverless computing space with the launch of AWS Lambda, which lets developers run their code without provisioning or managing servers. And AWS built Amazon SageMaker, a fully managed machine learning service that empowers everyday developers and scientists to use machine learning without any previous experience. We are constantly expanding our global network of AWS regions, so you can access AWS services to build and run your applications from anywhere in the world. Each of these regions has multiple availability zones that are physically separated from each other and connected by low latency, high throughput, and highly redundant networking. This makes it easy to design and operate applications that are scalable, fault-tolerant, and highly available. Our infrastructure is built to satisfy the security standards of the most risk-sensitive organizations. You also have access to the AWS Partner Network, which has thousands of systems integrators who specialize in AWS services, and tens of thousands of independent software vendors who adapt their technology to work on AWS. With the largest community of customers across every industry, AWS has unmatched experience and operational expertise you can depend upon for your most important applications and every imaginable use case.
Okay, so the first team going to present on the project is from team MY086 with the project title Pet Loss and File System Through Image Processing with AWS and AI Technology, PLFS. And the team is coming from INTI. The team members are Sim Jin Yi, Tan Ho Teng, and Jason Sawat. Okay, so is the team ready?
Yes.
Okay, over to you.
Okay, sure. Let me share my screen.
You have 5 minutes.
I'm able to see the screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll start now. Good morning, everyone. This is Sim Jinyi from Team MY086 under the AWS track. Together with me are my team members, Tan Ho Teng and Jason Sawat. Well, pet loss is prevalent worldwide, and the traditional methods to search for lost pets involve physical and social medias. However, these platforms provide large avenues for scam cases to occur and are usually ineffective. Hence, let me present our solution, Pet Lost and Found System inspired by the ubiquity of smartphones. The applications allows the user to capture the pet images using their smartphones, and by using advanced computer vision technologies, we can perform intelligent comparison of the pets in the images to determine if both images contain the same pets. Our system was empowered by the AWS services, allowing effective and accurate pet breed classification. Now, let us have a quick look over the system.
We can create a report by tapping on the report button, then upload our dog images as many as possible. Fill out the locations, the report type, and the description. Once we have confirmed the report's detail, tap on the report button. Our report will then store in the database. To check our reports, tap on Me. We can see that the loss reported are currently 1. Tap on it, and here is the report we made just now. To check whether our pet is found, tap on the Mesh button. This is where the instant segmentation and color matching take place. Booms, we have found our pets. Let's now check on the pet images for confirmations. If that's our pet, we can contact the reporter using the contact number. Once we reunite with our pets, we can tap on the Resolve button to close the report.
Okay, so this is how our system solves the problem. Next, let me continue with the impact of the system to the rakyat. First, the system improves the situation of the pet owner after losing a pet, since they can make use of the system to perform an effective search for their lost pets. Secondly, the adoption of the system is easy, just by installing the mobile application, which makes the system easily accessible to everyone. No additional hardware is required. Then, the pet owners and NGOs are positively affected by as the pet owners can look for their lost pets easily, thus reducing the stress of the NGOs in keeping the wandering pets. This effectively reduces the number of animals' lives ended by the authority as well. Lastly, the system helps the rakyat to look for their pets without a lot of physical interactions with the people, which is extremely important in the middle of this pandemic. As for the potential of commercialization, we can collaborate with the animal shelters such as SPCA in promoting the application to reach out to the intended audience. Community support will be the primary source to fund the system. Also, the niche market segment directly translates into opportunity to marketize the system, especially with the smart features and effective pet searching process. Besides that, as there is no cost in adopting the system, there will be less hesitancy for the users to adopt the system. Moreover, the maintenance cost of the system is low as it involves minimum use of IT infrastructure and can be maintained easily. Lastly, with the reduced physical interaction between the users in the process of finding the lost pets during this pandemic, there is a good chance to proliferate the application in the market. So that is all for our presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Team MY086. Now open for Q&A from the judges. Yeah, any question from the judge?
Okay, morning. Since Okay, I will start the roll ball then. Okay, hi everyone. Good morning.
Hi. Good
I'm
morning.
Shobha from IET. Very interesting research. Very interesting case study though. It's about the lost pet. So I just wonder how many, if you do have the data or the statistics on the case of losses pets in Malaysia or in Penang in general? Do you have that? Because we'd like to project how many would really get the positive impacts of this. I know this is a very good study, but if only very minimal that will be benefit, it's not worth to be implemented, right? So I just want to know if you
Yes.
do have that statistics.
We don't have the exact statistics on how many lost pets are there in Malaysia alone, but then we have the statistics on how many pet owners are there in Malaysia. We have 32,000 pet owners in the Peninsular Malaysia alone. So that from the number of pet owners, it's possible for those pets to go missing, and yeah, we would say that it's quite a number of pet owners in Malaysia.
Okay, thank you. I pass over to others. Mr. Koh, other
Okay.
first.
Okay. Can I have the questions, Kaho?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So thanks, Suhaida, for kickstart the questions rolling. I think it's a bit cool as a morning start. So let's get the ball rolling. Okay. Now, I think I would like to congratulate the teams. Very, very simple ideas where you match the found by somebody else and the loss reported by the owner on a single platform. But I think the questions I would like to pose to the team is, how do you get the ball rolling, right, to attract participants or to attract user to your platform, right? I think you have identified a few key segment, right? The shelter house, and so on, right? But I would like to hear from the team, how are you going to kickstart and viral this thing and start to snowball, right? Because I think the angle you are coming in is like pets lost and found are very localized a community, right? You lost your pets, it wouldn't be found in KL or Singapore or somewhere, right? So any idea of how you would like to kickstart your venture to start to make it a bit more scalable, or there are more participants so that you get that critical mass and people find it useful?
For us, we would say that the first step that we are going to take is to collaborate with the NGOs, like with the pet shelters, like for example SPCA, for them in helping us to promote, because since we will say that this app is basically targeting those pet lovers, and it is easy to snowball because everyone is the pet lovers, right? So they don't hope to see that their own pet or the pets of others is losing. So that's why we will say this is a good way, because since they are pet lovers, it's naturally the way in promoting the application, because once you see the wandering pets around, they will probably take their phone out and just snap a photo in order to help the other people. So just by the pet owners and the NGOs that are available, which can help us in promoting the app, we will say that this is a way for us to promote the application to more audience.
Okay, thank you. But I still would like to challenge you a bit more further, right? The FPCA is mainly, if you notice the trend, are for stray dog, stray cat that nobody want, and they try to do good, right? To provide shelter for all these unwanted or abandoned animals, right? So be a bit more specific to see how you would like to commercialize your very, very simple idea. I think the idea is very simple, but how do you roll it out to the market a bit more clearly, and how it can impact and individuals who are, like you have a pet that, sleep and live with you for days and 24 hours a day, and suddenly you lost it. It's just like you lost your mother, you lost your kids, or even you lost your wife, right? So how do you do that to actually support them within a very short period of time to be able to identify, right? So a bit more specific into that, how we are going to roll it out to impact the intended customer, right? Your intended customer is pets lover, right?
Yes. So what you are asking is that how are we going to roll out? How are we going to reach out to the pet lovers, right?
Yeah, I mean, like you reach to SPCA, probably you don't get an owner because all the animals are being abandoned, right? Adoption, yes. Right? If you promote adoption, then you go to SPCA, right? But now you're talking about lots of beautiful, adoring pets. Anyone take it? No owner. I will just adopt it, right? Because it's young and at the same time, you know, it's a nice.
Yeah, actually, I would say for this, we are actually trying to reach out to the community that involves a lot of pet owners. Like for example, SPCA is one of them because probably they love pets, so then they will probably engage with SPCA and probably closely in terms of their social medias, all those. So we will need this kind of NGOs in helping us to share this idea, this in order to like not to say share the idea, but share the application out. So yeah, that will be our approach to commercialize in the first step.
Okay, thank you. Right, I think time's up for the Q&A as well. Right. Then next I would like to just open for a comment from a judge.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jinxie, okay, for the representative. Okay, your project initially study focus on developing a visual AI, right? Okay. So find or focusing for the what we call it desperate owner losing their pets.
Yes.
Yeah. So this project is actually is very good. You study on how the apply the AI technology to find the losing pet. But at first, the first panel said that as a supervisor Syahida, right? You must study the market before you innovate something, so that we can focus how we want to commercialize it. But your project is very good. The implementation of the latest technology right now. Only that how you want to commercialize your project in future. Okay.
Understood.
Very good.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
I would like to add a bit more to the comment. Just along the line of my questions, right? Just now, I think either is very, very simple, and I think for image recognition for AI now is quite established. So those are quite mature technology. For pets tracking system, pets typically are for people who love animals, and therefore I think if you would like to think for your commercialization, the first potential channel for you is the pet shop, right? Rather than SPCA.
Yeah.
So you go to the pet shop, you say you have this application, share with all your group, right? They will just share with their group, right? And that's how you have to think of a entry point, right, for your commercialization, where it is more targeting to your customers, right? So SPCA may not be suitable for your startup kind of channel to reach to more user, but the pet shop can actually help you with no effort. They will spread it to their circle, right? Their customer circle, and that's useful because it's free and so on, right?
Yes.
So that's additional input and for you. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, judges, for giving the comment. Right. Okay, next. Thank you, team MY086.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, next, we will then invite the next team. Hang on. Coming from Intel track, the winner of the Intel track. And before that, then we will start with a video showcase from Intel.
Hi, I'm Jerry. I'm a software engineer from Intel Malaysia. We have wonderful employees coming from various backgrounds here, which allows me to learn many skills from them. Through collaboration and mentorship programs, this allows me to structure my career path well. We usually challenge each other's ideas to make things work in a respectful manner. We even talk about our career growth and constantly propose ideas on technical issues, even during our favorite mamak session.
Hi, I'm Leisha and I'm a pre-silicon validation engineer. It's interesting how the diverse workforce here indirectly broadens our mind and perspective even for the smallest things. We get to exchange interesting stories with each other, and it's amazing to see how everyone sees things from different point of views. These differences blossom into the form of creativity. One culture that Intel has cultivated would be its inclusiveness. My opinions and suggestions are valued and very much taken into consideration, and that has made me comfortable working at Intel.
Hi, I'm Shraimi Amira. I work as an embedded software engineer at Intel Malaysia. Working on a global team has its rewards and challenges. It has definitely added more value to my work experience in collaborating across multiple time zones and also cultural and linguistic exposures. It's all about global teamwork.
Hi, I'm Nur Ain. I am a pre-silicon validation engineer at Intel Malaysia. Intel is a great place to work as it has a wonderful lineup of expertise in this industry. We will always be excited to work with the best colleague with great experience. Intel actively promotes work-life balance programs. One of my favorite programs is Intel Involved. It consists of various volunteering activities where we can contribute back to the community.
Okay, so the next team going to present your project is from Team MY243 with the project title COVID-19 Mandatory Self-Quarantine Wearable Device for Authority Monitoring with Edge AI Reporting and Flagging System from UMP. The team member is Lim Wei Jie.
Okay, so can you hear me? And now I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah, let me stop my sharing.
Okay. So can you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I have to start now.
Yeah.
So hello everyone, I'm Wei Jie from Team MY243, and today I'm going to present my project which titled as COVID-19 Mandatory Self-Quarantine Wearable Device for Authority Monitoring with Edge AI Reporting and Flagging System. So let us more focus on our project. There's the current solution that available in Malaysia nowadays. So Malaysia government has set a rules that for those who returning from overseas to Malaysia need to undergo a 14 days mandatory of self-quarantine. So usually or commonly you can see that government will provide a pink wristband for them to indicate they are in the quarantine mode. But this solution actually give a lot of bad impacts to the community. So one of that is it is totally free from restriction. And another it is only depends on the self-discipline. So we can see one of the issue that is the cluster Sivaganga occurred in the last August. This one male restaurant owner came back from India to Malaysia and broke the home quarantine rules and causing the virus spread around the area. And not only this, the other issues such as 2021 March, 2021 June, a lot of pink wristband men can be seen around the mini market or around the store. So lots of these non-adherent cases occurring in Malaysia has led to increasing and booming of COVID-19 cases nowadays in Malaysia. So we have proposed our solution with the design of for the quarantine user, we designed a HISM application mainly for periodical checking for the status of the quarantine period, as well as the wearable with the integration of oximeter sensor and RSSI distance tracing. And for the non-risk user, we propose a C-Trace application mainly to trace the quarantine user wearable. And for the authority side, we designed a HISM monitoring dashboard with the AI-based reporting system and also cloud-to-edge AI face recognition system. So to more understanding the interaction of our application and our system, we have prepared a demonstration video. So enjoy this video.
Before the user start the application, open the Bluetooth and pair the wearable. Once paired, and you are ready to start the HISM. Log in by using the given username and password during registration. The main page consists of historical data column, quarantine data section, main periodic check now button. Run the check now and start the checkup cycle. First, the application is required the user to upload a selfie photo. After the upload button click, the photo will directly send to the HISM monitoring dashboard, and the face recognition indicator will change from green to yellow. Clicking the yellow indicator button, recognition will run. Once done, the indicator will change the color. The green colors means the result is matched. Continue with the health checkup. The users are required to connect the wearable and check the health status. And last, end with the location checking. And continue the checking cycle with further notice. When the users go out with the wearable and the smartphone, the non-risk user with the C-Trace application is able to sense the wearable within 2 meters. Once the application sends the wearable in 2 meters range, the application will trigger notification. The notification will prompt out even the application is not open or run in background. Click the yes button, the flag will directly send to the authorities. And the button of the user change from green to red, and the authorities can check the detail of this report. When arriving to the health checkup stage, the skip button will prompt out instead of the next button because the wearable is not connected. If the skip button is clicked, a flag will be made to the authorities.
Skip will report war. So I think I just revamp this page and then I go home, wear my wearable and then continue to scan.
Regarding this issue, if the user not complete the checking cycle within 10 minutes, a flag will be sent to the self button and the self button change from green to red. During the face recognition, the user still can upload the photo and continue the checking cycle. But at the authority side, once a new photo is uploaded, the authorities will run the recognition. If the image uploaded is not matched, it will give a red flag instead of green flag, and the result is not matched. And our solution have been getting the effort and cooperation from quarantine user, normal citizen, and the authorities. A HISM application for quarantine user will always checking the status of the user by using the wearable, and the normal citizen can help authorities to track the movement of the quarantine user. Hence, the movement is totally restricted, and the system is easy to investigate the non-adherence issue. And that's all from us. My name is Wei Jie. Thanks for watching.
So let us continue to the market comparison of our solutions with other countries. So other countries such as Hong Kong, South Korea, Poland has been proposed this application, but our solution is the best among the other countries. We provide the individual identification, which using the cloud-to-edge technology and also the AI report and flagging system. And Malaysia just announced yesterday announcement and enforcement for the mandatory quarantine for which returning from overseas to Malaysia. So our project is very worth and valuable for the future commercialization. And our HISM ecosystem is tested in real life implementation and is ready for collaborations and commercialization. So that's all from my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Wei Jie.
Yes.
And open for Q&A from judges.
Sorry.
Yeah, anyone want to ask any question?
Wei Jie, just clarification. Your project is about the risk hardware as well as the apps as well, right?
Yes.
Hardware plus software, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So now, roughly, what is the cost of the hardware?
Okay, can let me share screen about the cost of the hardware. So I will share about the cost. Okay. So the cost is about here. So the cost is roughly about 65 ringgit. But if we get the supplier price, we're getting a large amount of the components, we can get less than 65 ringgit for one of the wearable components, including all the casing and also the installations.
Okay, thank you for the info.
Okay, okay.
Hi, I'm Haida from IEEE.
Hi.
How about the cost of the software?
Oh, the implementation of the software, I still not consider to calculate it because it is like proposed to government use, proposed to the community. So in terms of the software, we're not calculating the cost. We only involve the cost for the wearable and the hardware.
Let's say you want to commercialize this. How are you going to put the price for your software?
I think this one need to have a calculation for that. Need have a very detailed calculation for in terms of the database creation and also the application, because we involve two application and also one HTML web page with all these system ecosystem. It's actually interrelation from database and the application. So need a very detailed calculation for that.
What software that you use for your application?
Android Studio, you means the platform of the development? Yes, Android Studio. And also the PHP, scripting for posting and retrieving the data. Mainly it's Android Studio.
All right. It's free, right?
Yes, it's free.
Okay. So at the beginning of the registration, do you put 14 days as a max? Oh, okay. I missed that. All right.
It is automatically calculated if register the users during the registration.
Okay, good. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, hi. I like the idea. I'm from IT, by the way. But I just wonder, how do you integrate your system with the current MySejahtera?
Current MySejahtera, it's actually can using the current MySejahtera, but we need the collaboration to more details about how the MySejahtera is working, and we can implement our system into the MySejahtera. But this software is actually mainly for quarantine use. It's not like contact tracing. So we mainly put the focusing in the quarantine area, not for the community. But the C-Trace, actually we provide two applications, that is a C-Trace and also the HISM. The C-Trace actually can put inside the MySejahtera, but the HISM, we need to have an individual application mainly for quarantine use. Yes, this is what my idea about how the interrelation between MySejahtera and also our system.
Hello.
Sorry.
Okay.
Hi, I think it's a very, very good project. I like it.
Okay, thank you.
I think for the quarantine, now also if you're not coming from overseas, even for local people, you also need to go for self-quarantine, right? I think this one can also be used by them, right? So that's why it's very relevant to connect this to MySejahtera lah.
Yes, the entire system of the concept can be implemented into MySejahtera too. The important thing is the concept and also the system integration. Yes.
Right. Okay. The only thing is that MySejahtera is free lah, so just wonder how you're going to do the commercialization part of this.
Yes, because firstly, I'm thinking for the commercialization is for the wearable, the hardware device. The software, I'm not thinking for, yes. But in terms of database, this is like the consideration from the government. So I'm not sure about that.
No, I mean, if the government really likes this project, they might just outright buy it, and then your monetization is just from selling it to the government. Because the wearable, I think if I'm not mistaken, you can also use existing wearable which the user already have, right? Because there are so many smartwatches and all that.
Can be integrated. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you. And open for comment from Judge. Maybe Dr. Haidawati.
Okay, my comment is it's good. It's a good project, and then the problem statement also clear, and where you use actual cases for your motivation to design the wearable device, and then the solution is very good, and I think the commercialization is at the software.
Okay.
I think that's all from me.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other comment from?
Just a quick comment. I think your project idea is good and it's timely, right? And it's quite comprehensive from hardware all the way to software, right? So the only thing is the commercialization. I think the question you have to ask yourself hard is how are you going to monetize your products or your solution, like whether you are coming from advertising or follow-up sales, because the people who are quarantined may need a lot of services. Right? They need services, they need grocery, right? Medicine, and many a lot of things. And just in case they are positive, they need ambulance services and many services. So I think you can think along that line rather than monetize from hardware is very difficult.
Okay.
So, but monetize from information and follow-up services could be the way forward, because you have first-hand information, what exactly they need. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, panel of judges and team from Innovate.
Okay.
We shall
Thank you so much.
please stop your sharing.
Okay.
We shall move on to the next team from winner from Keysight track. So, and before we start the judging, then let's view the showcase video from Keysight.
Keysight has the high-performance culture. That attracts me. Whatever I do, I know I'm making an impact to the next technology breakthrough, helping scientists, researchers, and engineers in the industry.
Keysight is transforming today's measurement experience through innovation. This means continuously challenging ourselves to look at new ways to deliver better, faster, and more value-added solutions. It is a dynamic environment. And even after 10 years, I'm still very excited to step through these doors each day.
As a global company, Keysight gives me the opportunity to work with the best talents across the world. I have access to technology insights and expertise that strengthen my capabilities to deliver a winning performance.
As a fresh graduate, I get to apply my knowledge to learn different skills and being effective at Keysight. I feel great because we move together as one team, we share one vision, and we deliver winning solutions for our customers as one Keysight.
At Keysight, everyone has a chance to keep improving themselves through internal trainings and job rotation. To me, it's not just about working here, but I'm developing a career here at Keysight.
As a working mother, I'm always trying to balance my work and my family. At Keysight, I'm able to achieve this with ease of mind, such as flexible work arrangements, facilities that cater to the needs of new mothers, and an on-site parent support group. This enables me to deliver my work commitments and enjoy quality time with my family.
At Keysight, we have a conducive working environment and comprehensive facilities. With that, I can focus all my energies on delivering the next technological breakthrough for customers.
I have gained so much since joining Keysight, and the best part is I get to share this amazing experience through many Keysight citizenship programs. From inspiring students to pursue science and engineering education, to raising awareness on environmental conservation, or even helping the less fortunate, I am making a difference in their lives.
I am Katrina. I am delivering values at Keysight Technologies.
I'm Renu, and I'm driving innovation at Keysight Technologies.
I'm Jerry. I'm shaping the future at Keysight Technologies.
I'm Afif. I'm making a difference at Keysight Technologies, and so can you.
All right, next, then let's welcome team MY071 with the project Development of an AI-driven wearable object recognition device for rehabilitation purposes. The team is coming from Utah, Sungai Long, and the team member is Lim Chu Chen.
Hi, yes, hi. Can everyone hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Let me share my screen. Okay, I hope you can see the screen.
Yes. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so I'll start now.
Yeah.
So a very good morning to everyone. My name is Lim Chu Chen, and today I'll do a short presentation on my project titled AI-capable smart glove for rehabilitation purposes. Let me start this presentation off by addressing some of the issues that rehabilitation centers have been facing in regards to the non-attendance of their patients. A study done by the Matata General Hospital in South Africa found that the main reasons of poor attendance in their rehabilitation department are due to the lack of finances of the patients, the migration of the patients to other areas, and the long distances of the patient's home to the hospital. As a result, up to 50% of the patients found that their performance have deteriorated over time due to the lack of rehabilitation training. Another study done by the University of Otago in New Zealand found that while the patients agree that rehabilitation training is beneficial, the patients had trouble prioritizing physiotherapy over other commitments. Therefore, the study concluded that the convenience aspect, such as easy access to physiotherapy center, plays a very important role when it comes to the attendance of the training sessions. Finally, a university in Nigeria did a 3-year study regarding the non-attendance in their physiotherapy department. They found that the main reasons for non-attendance was the high cost of care, the long travel distance to the centers, and the need for patients to know if they are improving in a quantitative manner. Now, these 3 studies done by 3 different institutions from 3 different countries all lead to the same conclusions. There seems to be an ongoing problem where the need for rehabilitation is often obstructed by these fundamental reasons: the cost of rehabilitation, the need to measure the patient's progress, and the convenience of rehabilitation. Therefore, I propose a smart glove that can recognize objects using a supervised machine learning algorithm. This glove is able to track the degree of joint movements, and with the current machine learning network, is able to track the pin strength and the joint mobility. Let me demonstrate by showing a quick video on how this glove operates. This video demonstrates the different objects that this glove can recognize with an SVM-based machine learning algorithm. The confusion matrix shows that this algorithm can assist the glove in recognizing objects with an accuracy of around 91.8%. The high accuracy aspect of this project shows great promise in the application of rehabilitation, as it means that the data can be used to track improvements of the user over time. For example, the data collected can show an improvement of the user's hand function as well as the highest improvement of grip strength of each finger. In addition, this glove can also provide an educated guess on which exercise regimen is the most effective for any particular user. Okay, so that just shows a quick demonstration on how the glove works, so I hope you enjoyed that. Of course, the idea of leveraging technology to assist in rehabilitation work is not a new concept. All these gloves you see on screen now are the current market solutions that does the rehabilitation work for stroke patients. But with that, you can clearly see that the barrier of entry of using these technologies are the cost that comes with the product. With a solution that costs hundreds or even thousands of dollars to the patient, it is no wonder that the patient would much rather visit rehabilitation centers or even skip rehabilitation altogether due to the inconvenience. Therefore, the solution that I provided has taken this into account, and my prototype costs less than 300 ringgit, and with the scale of manufacturing, the unit cost can go down even lower. This provides the patient with an affordable rehabilitation care while still providing the convenience that many patients sought after. As for the commercialization of these types of products, most market solutions run off a one-time payment model, meaning you pay for the product and you get what you pay for. And this contributes to the very high price point of these devices because you have to pay for everything in one shot. What I propose if I were to market this product is to turn it into a subscription-based model. This marketing model ensures that the product has a lower cost of entry while still providing the same or even more flexibility as compared to the one-time payment-based model. This also means that the source of monthly revenue is more reliable, which can then contribute to the server and administrative costs needed to maintain this product. To recap, I have proposed a rehabilitation solution capable of reducing the cost of rehabilitation, providing the data for the patients to view their progress, and providing the convenience to encourage patients to undergo their rehabilitation training. According to the World Health Organization, there is around 2.4 billion people in need of rehabilitation. It is also estimated that more than 50% of people from the low to middle income countries do not receive the rehabilitation services that they require, and the need for rehabilitation worldwide is predicted to increase due to the changes in the health of the population. With that, I am confident that there is an opportunity that can be taken here to provide a sustainable solution to a problem that has been affecting the healthcare industry for so long. That's all for my presentation. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you. And next, let's open for Q&A from judges. Any question from judges?
Yeah, hi, Mr. Lim. Very good presentation. I just wonder whether this glove can be replicated for other parts of the body, and since the data will be connected, can be retrieved by both the hospital and the patient. How do you consider in terms of PDPA? The data protect. The PDPA,
the Data Protection Act.
Yeah, because it will be accessible by many in that case. Because in hospital, the PDPA is very, very important. Okay, so they might get access, others rather than the patient might get access to this data as well. So yeah, that's all. 3 questions, all in all.
Okay, so the first question was whether this product can be integrated with other body parts, right?
Whether it can be replicated to other body parts, like say I have hips rehab, so whether it can be, the gloves can be transformed into something to the hips or something.
Oh, okay, understood. Okay,
purpose, because your problem statement is not that clear, that you just want to focus on hands, because when we talk about rehab, it's A to Z until.
Understood. Okay.
So maybe you can strengthen your problem statement that you only focus on hands. But I wonder if it can be replicated.
Okay. Yep. So for my prototype, it can only work for the hands, as you can see in the video. But of course, through more development, the sensors can be used for maybe if you want hip rehabilitation or even foot rehabilitation, it can work. But you just need more R&D into it, which I haven't really touched. Yep. And as for your second question, which is the PDPA, the Data Protection Act, this is more in tune to what the Intel speaker has said this morning. So it's more into the security, which in my case I haven't really go much into depth because what I have is just a prototype. So of course, if you were to implement this into a real-world solution, you would have all these security measures to prevent, hackers from entering your database and whatnot. And just for my case, I just didn't implement this. Yeah, does that answer your question?
Hi, hello. I'm Aswati from IEM.
Hi.
Okay, just one question for you. How you plan to connect your project with the specialized? Means that to monitor the rehabilitation process. How you connect to make sure that there is a monitoring process between the patient and the specialist center.
How to connect? You mean how the specialist center is able to see what the user is
to
doing?
monitor the rehabilitation process.
Okay. Okay. So in that case, I created a website. Maybe I can type it in the chat. You guys can check it out. It's my personal website, but maybe I can just share my screen. Hold on, So to do that, hold on. Okay. Okay. Can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So to do that, I actually set up a website which can transmit data from the user to the specialist center. So it's actually a website. You guys can actually visit this web page here, and you can see all the data provided from the glove into the website. So through this website, the specialist is able to see exactly what is being transmitted, and also the specialist can actually send data to the glove through an LCD screen. You can send a message.
Okay, so this one is for real-time monitoring system or for?
Yes, it's real time. But unfortunately, I do not have the glove with me right now. So what I have here is just a simulation of what the specialist would see when the user is holding a cuboid or a cylinder, or if the user is holding no objects, this is what they would see.
This website can access by all the users or specific?
Let me link it into the chat, so maybe you can access it. It's my personal website, so I just created a page for this glove.
Okay, so maybe for the in future, maybe this one can replicate, same as the supervisor Shahid just said. Maybe can replicate to other spot. Because this is a very low cost innovation, so that everyone can buy for the other spot also. Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And let's open for comment from Judge. Maybe Dr. Hong. Yeah, your mic is mute.
Sorry, let me turn on mic. Okay. Hi, Jusen.
Hi.
Nice projects, hardware, and some data presentation. I think your claim and your target objective is producing a low cost, right? Low cost substitute of glove rehabilitation for patient, right?
Yes.
So I think that in terms of cost of products, there are a numbers of factors, not only bill of material, right? When we talk about commercialization, so you have to consider bill of material, all the component costs, right? That's called bill of material. You also have to look at manufacturing costs, right? If you have the volume or you do not have the volume, right? And then some of your R&D, and also one time you create all those tooling and more. And the last thing is the warranty costs that you put into the field, right? So when you see the products that cost $1,000 US, $2,000 US, whereas yours is a few $100s, right? The difference is you didn't take into consideration all the rest of the cost factor. Warranty cost is like if it's still in the field within a year, you have to pay back. You have to kind of replace it.
So that is why I try to propose a subscription-based marketing model, so the user does not have to pay so much at one shot. Instead, they can spread the payment over a longer period of time, so that they can cover the cost back. And of course, this monthly cost can cover maybe, like what you said, the manufacturing expenses, or even the server or administrative costs.
Yeah, I think I also want to emphasize that it's good for you to consider a different business model. One is outright selling products. The other one is the subscription based, right? Where at least put some thoughts into it, right? So a subscription based approach come with a different challenge, right? You need to have a lot of cash upfront payment, right? You absorb all the cash, and then you only kind of like realize the cash flow while people are paying slowly. So your cash will come back only after 24 months. So these are all the challenges. But congratulations, I think the project is quite complete, right? Just now I can't remember which chart, right? It's only limited to the hand, right? So you have to think of a way to integrate into the whole system where it's more holistic to target a specific customer. It cannot be just standalone products, right?
Yeah, understood.
The other angle to look at it is that I think the biggest challenge for rehabilitation is the motivation of the patient, right? To do, right? So I think there are some innovation opportunity to gamify some of this process of rehabilitation, right? So hardware, I think there are a lot of opportunity in between the hardware and the specialist doctor, right? So there's in between that a lot of work can be done. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for the comment.
And thank you, team MY071. Let's proceed to the next. So the next one is a winner from Microsoft track. And before we start the judging, then we will also show the Microsoft showcase video. Please enjoy.
Harnessing the power of digital technology together, I believe there's no limit to what we can achieve for the world.
Okay, so the next thing going to present is from MY209. The project title is Autonomous Drone for Oil Palm Fruits Ripeness Detection with Cloud Analysis. The team is from UKM, with the team member Tony Hee Chang Sun, Gabriel Tan Hong Chuan, and Jia Hui.
Okay.
Team, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Let me share the screen. Okay. Would you be able to hear my voice and see the slide?
Yes.
Okay, nice.
Can we start now?
Okay, Gabriel, start now.
Yeah.
Salam and a very good morning to every one of you, especially our lovely panel judges. We are from Team MY209 JTG Precision Farming Services representing Microsoft Technology Track in Innovate Malaysia Design Competitions 2021. Our competition tagline is Improving Farming, Improving Life. COVID-19 pandemic has given a very huge impact to all our beloved Malaysians, from SME to big firms. As you know, Malaysia is one of the largest producers of vegetable oils in the world, making it an important metric to scrutinize when studying the Malaysia economy. In recent years, effort in maximizing the extractions quality and quantity of crude palm oil (CPO) have become a major concern of the industry. Today, let me walk through Mr. Sili's story to understand the real-life problem faced by the farmer. His farm is fully dependent on the foreign workers in harvesting fruit branches. Currently, they are still applying the traditional method, which is using the naked eye to detect the fruit maturity. Besides that, they also count the number of loose fruit under the tree and the number of loose fruit sockets that were still attached to the branches in order to determine the fruit maturity. During the COVID-19 pandemic, they faced a reduction of labor workforce in their plantation. This results in inexperienced workers to determine the ripeness of the fresh fruit branches using eyesight. They also face insufficient skilled workers to determine the fruit branches on the higher tree. Thus, we innovate our technologies, which comes with the fruit image capturing using level 2 drone autonomy, and our solutions also uses AI and cloud-based to detect and monitor the ripeness of oil plant fruit. Moreover, our system also implements with oil plant fruit location tagging. Hand over to you, Jasui.
Okay, now allow me to draw your attention to our business model canvas. To re-emphasize, the value propositions of our technology include the fruit image capturing using level 2 drone autonomy, AI and cloud-based ripeness detections and monitoring using RGB camera, and the GPS location tagging for oil palm tree. We direct our technology to create values to traditional modern farmers, smallholders, oil palm plantation owners, and big firms through the channels such as sales agent, website, conference, and events, as well as media. We build and maintain direct one-to-one customer relationship as we have sales agents who are direct to the customer. Other than that, we also provide customer service at the same time. We generate revenues through the total solution sales, subscriptions, leasing, and after-sales service. In order to generate these revenues, we need to have some key resources, for instance, drone technology, cloud-based data analytics, employees, skills, knowledge, and engineering and design. The key activities includes building drone for oil palm image capturing besides setting up cloud-based dashboard for ripeness data monitoring. We also partner with Microsoft that has a role as a platform as a service provider to our technology, oil palm firms, and also university for collaborations. Those elements make up the majority of the cost structure for manufacturing infrastructure, employees, research and development, and the cost of the materials. Next, I will pass to Tony for further explanation.
Okay, to our knowledge, currently, there are two competitors in our market, which are the traditional solutions using the naked eyes and the geospatial mapping and monitoring system used by San Darby Berhad in oil palm fruit ripeness detections. What makes our solution different from others is that we use the autonomous drones with obstacle detection and avoidance features to capture and save the images of oil palm fruits together with their GPS location tag. At the same time, we provide the Microsoft Power BI dashboard to let them monitor the fruit ripeness of each tree in the plantations. With those features, our solutions provide the highest efficiency compared to others. Coming to the impacts, our solution reduces the dependency on foreign labor and time, at the same time improving the quality of life by helping the farmers and big firms to increase yield through 4IR technologies. At the same time, we also provide the dashboard to monitor the overall ripeness of a particular area of oil palm fields via the app or website. In short, the data system provides a better and higher ripeness accuracy, and this benefits the farmers and the owners in collecting the fresh fruit bunches in its right condition with the highest oil extraction rate, OER, at its optimum condition. That's all for our pitching. Thank you. Let me end with our team tagline, improving farming, improving life.
Okay, team MY209. Okay, open for Q&A.
I'll start, right? Okay, so you mentioned, the team mentioned about reducing foreign labor or labor cost, right? So from the traditional method where every 2-3 weeks, they will harvest once, and probably out of that area, out of 10 trees, maybe 6 trees, nearby they can harvest, right? So with your drone system, how much do you think that you can actually save in terms of labor to the whole total equation, right? Because you still have physically, the person still have to be there, and you still have to be harvest, right? You still have to cut, and that's the most laborious work, right? Where you cut the palm oil down, right? So now you talk about reducing foreign labor. From which aspect that you foresee that the labor can be saved from the whole labor requirement.
Okay. Gabriel, could you help to answer this question? Hello, Gabriel.
Do you get the question? I mean, like you get a tool to identify which tree, right? And the current practice is that every 3 weeks, they will go harvest once, and then after another 3 weeks, they will go harvest once, and this have been already established, right? So now, and most of the labor is actually focused on that tooling that's in high, where it's tough job, right? So with this solution, how much labor content that you can save for the whole harvesting labor requirement?
Hi, can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Just now my line has some problem at the quarantine center. Okay, so so for us, our drone actually can per hectare, if manually, it is we can save 4 manpower based on one of the research paper that we got online as well. And then we tried our drone in per hectare, 135 trees. So if based on how long time we need to inspect per ripeness, because our palm fruit takes quite some time for its ripening process as well. So by using our system, actually we in the future we are planning to develop how to say an analysis with like data analysis that come with how long time the drone need to fly in per month depends on, okay, for example, this area, its ripeness is 30%. So we don't have to fly in the next day actually. We only need to fly in the next week or in 2 weeks time to see if this place, how much percentage is actually the ripeness is already there, like through our online analytics system using Microsoft computations, and see if, okay, now the ripeness is already 60%, 80%, or how much, and then only the online Power BI will be shown to the customer, and then the customer will actually able to assess that, okay, this is the percentage that we want, and then we will go into it, and then we will harvest it. Yeah. I think this is the front part of the questions that I managed to listen. Did I answer it correctly?
I think I just want to have your indicative quantifying numbers, like you save 20%, you save 5%, you save like you after you deploy the drone, right? Now can you cut the harvest labor to 50%, right? Or is it still 95%? So that's the question. Okay. It's more of your own gut view on the project, how much that the labor force is being saved through the initiative, right? With the drone identifying which tree is ripe. Right? Because now they have a certain routine, right? Every 3 weeks you go in there, most likely they will have one bunch on the tree, right? And then another week, another 3 weeks later, another bunch will be ready, and so on.
Okay. Tony, can you open our paper regarding the cost table? I think we did submitted our paper.
Show the paper. I just want to, as a team, right? What's the impact? I cannot see the impact yet. You say saving, right? Saving of labor is one thing, but how much?
Yeah, the value is there, and then okay, it is per, okay, one drone can save 4 manpower, and then in terms of hours, I think it is shown here as well. Tony?
Yeah.
My line is quite bad, sorry.
Maybe I help Gabriel to answer this question, because in the traditional methods, you need the workers to monitor all the areas. So we don't have the specific numbers, but in to our research now, you need all the workers to monitor all the areas. So it might have the overlook problems. So with the drones, we can fly more hectares compared to only manpowers working in the plantations to monitor the ripeness only. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. And open for judge comment. Nick?
Yeah. Hi. Okay, I think it's a good project. The potential is there. I love the way how you guys are using the Power BI to visualize the thing and make this so that the end user can see this. The only thing is that when it comes to the commercialization part, it's not clear where the strength lies, because if I'm going to subscribe to this, then I would like to know what would be my cost saving, like what Dr. Ho was asking, what would be my saving in terms of like the manpower, how much less can I use? And also in terms of the target segments, you mentioned that you have 3 target segments. The big firms, the individual users, and the small holders, right? I'm sure the 3 segments have a uniquely different ways of doing things and different cost components. So I would have loved to see your analysis in terms of which segments do you think this is most potential for, and for each of the segments, maybe what kind of model of commercialization you're going to push for? Is it just on a subscription, maybe more for the smallholders, and maybe outright outright ownership for the big firms? So those kind of things I think need to be explored further. Other than that, I think it's okay. The potential is there. Just need a bit more of brushing up of the ideas. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, sir.
Okay.
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 Let me address it.
Time's out already. Sorry. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Nick. All right. So next, we'll move on to the next team from winner from Citera CDEC Intel track. And the team is coming from MY023 with the project title An Efficient March N FSM-based memory built-in self-test MBIST architecture. The team is from UTM, and the team member is Thomas Kong.
So now can you see my screen?
Hang on, let me stop my sharing. Okay, yeah, I can see the screen.
Yeah, so very good morning to everyone. Embedded memory is an important component in almost all system chips. And my project is something related to these important components, which is about a memory testing algorithm that I named it March5N that operate on an FSM-based MBIS architectures. And the target user of my project is semiconductor company that involved in the field of memory and storage. For example, Intel, which is an IDM semiconductor company and is also an early developer of SRAM and DRAM memory chips. And one of the memory is Intel Optime memory. Before selling a product, testing must be carried out to reduce the risk of damage. However, embedded memory is a critical circuit that used internally by the device have no direct connections to external pins, and this makes it difficult to be tested effectively using the external testing equipment. So the problem arises. The current solutions for solving the problem is memory built-in self-test, or in short, MBIS. It's an additional hardware added to the circuit under test to perform self-testing and reduce the dependence on external automated testing equipment. The cost of AT testing is rising from year to year, and therefore the MBIS solution can greatly reduce the circuit testing costs. The March algorithms are preferred for an MBIS to operate compared to the traditional testing algorithms, because the March algorithms are easy to implement and having better fault coverage. However, according to VanderGo, current March algorithms are already at its minimum length for detecting the respective fault. Therefore, I propose a new testing algorithm, March5N, to overcome the problems. It's a March-based algorithm which consists of a finite sequence of write and read operations. It has a test length of 5 operations per memory words. And the symbol A here is represent the data pattern embedded with the address value, and B is the complementary of A. Unlike the conventional match algorithms that write or read 0 or 1, match5n write or read address or complemented address to enable the change in the match algorithm structures that lead to a shorter task length and provide extra advantages in underdefining the memory for locations. The design match5n will have higher fault coverage than the Matplus and shorter test length than the Matplus. Other than Intel, other semiconductor company like that involved in the memory and storage, such as the Microchips, Samsung, and Microns, can also benefit from the proposed solutions. The proposed match5n is able to bring impacts in cost saving due to its shorter task length and thus reduce the cost of products. Since the match5n is the new testing algorithms, it provides a better alternative match-based testing algorithms and to reduce the risk of damage of the products that release to the market. So here I will briefly go through the results. And the proposed match5n it will cost an area overhead of around 2.65% and 1.39% for 2K and 4KB memory under test. So in terms of power consumptions, in terms of power consumptions, if I compare it with the other algorithms, it will show that the match5n is around 10 to 20 times lower than the other match algorithms. And in terms of area overhead, the gate count for the match5n is 93. It is also lesser as compared with the other algorithms. So on the left-hand side, this is the physical layout for 2K and 4K match5n FSM best and BIS. And this is the summary for the summary of the results. Show that there is no violating path for the set out and hold timing, no DRC, no conjunctions, no LVS, and all the galloping and popping are all connected. And same situations go to the Matplus and Matplus. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. Open for Q&A.
Hi, how about the complexity in terms of time and cost? Yeah.
The complexity, you mean the overhead, is it? The overhead of the design.
Yeah.
So in terms of the overhead of the design, because the data pattern of the match5n, right, is unlike the conventional one. The conventional is write 0 and 1 only, but the match5n is also a match-based algorithm. It's using the address as a useful information. It will cause a bit higher area overhead, which located at the data generator, but it has the extra advantages as compared with the traditional one, the conventional one. Because since I embedded the data pattern with the address value, right, it can be used when you extract the data, the content from the memory. You used to compare with the expected data for identifying the fault. Yeah, I mean, it can provide the extra advantage in identifying the memory fault locations. But the conventional one, it needs extra circuitry to have these functions. Yeah. But if this one is I compare with the Matplus and Matplus, but if I compare with the other match algorithms, the area overhead of the match5n is still lower compared with the others. This is because the complexity of the other algorithms is higher because the operation length is bigger as compared with the match5n, and this gives them a higher fault coverage. Yeah.
Okay.
Thomas, yeah, it's overwhelming technically for your presentation.
Yeah.
I think, are you able to put in a layman term how this project impact the community or your end customers? I know you have a design overhead, you have a leakage, you have so many jargons and technical terms which is overwhelming for me at least, right? But how does it impact? I know it's cost saving, but in a way, it's like how much, or it speed up the process in terms of the short test time, and also in terms of like power consumption or whatever consumption it is. How it actually benefit your customers, and what's the quantum for your solution?
Because in terms of test drive, let's say I compare with the Map Plus. I compare with the Map Plus. In terms of fault coverage, they have the same fault coverage, but in terms of test time performance, the March firing is 1.2 times faster than the Map Plus. So if I say that the testing cost is directly proportional to the test time, so it will like 1.2 times saving in terms of cost. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah. Then open for judge comment. Yeah, comment from judge. Maybe Dr. Haidawati, can you give a bit of comment about the project?
Okay. The presentation is clear, and then the results seem encouraging, except for the impact to rakyat lah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other comment?
Hi, Shohaida here. Similar to Mr. Ho, this is totally an alien for me. Okay, an alien presentation to me. So, Thomas, if this is a research presentation, it's good if you present it this way. But you must remember the audience. Yeah, these audience are of various backgrounds. So this is a learning curve for you, okay? So because we are focusing more on your business model, you know, how are you going to project, how about commercialization? We don't want to know all about these technical jargons. Okay, so probably next time if you were into this competition again, focus more on the contribution, like what Dr. Haida said. We can't really see the contribution to rakyat. Okay, we just knew all these algorithms and things, stuff like that. Okay, so maybe the thing that thing is not really being understood by the audience, I think. Thank you.
Yeah, just to add to that, it's just like how do you tell 2x saving in terms of test time? So you just imagine that how many memory chip a day that we are using, and then you multiply by the time saving. That numbers will be significant, and everyone will understand your project have impact, right? I mean, you look at memory chip. How many memory chips we have produced every day, and we are using it, right? Thomas? So translate some of this technical terminology to layman so that we understand the contribution of your project. Now we cannot see because you didn't try to relate to us. I mean, like improvement of 2.5x is a lot, right? But how can layman feel it? You understand what I'm saying, Thomas?
Yes, I understand.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
Okay, thank you, judges. And thank you, team MY023. Okay, let's proceed to the next team. So the next team is coming from the winner from Crest Design Challenge. And the team is MY046 with the project title Plant Health Monitoring and Indoor Positioning for Micro Air Vehicles using Deep Convolutional Neural Network and Ultra-Wideband. The team is from USM, and team members are Tan Su Chuan and Ching Fo Ling. Okay, you ready?
Yes, we're ready.
Okay.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. We are from US University Science Malaysia. I will start the presentation with a brief opening statement. Okay, next. Banana is one of the most produced but also highly demanded fruits in Malaysia. Many farmers invested in tissue culture techniques in greenhouse to increase productions. Next. Next, please. To ensure the banana seedlings grow well in the early stage, they need to hire many laborers or install camera sensors throughout the greenhouse. These methods are considered expensive and less effective. Next. There are few solutions for greenhouse automations that have been proposed in the recent past, such as Aurora, which is able to autonomously navigate in different greenhouses, and Agrobot, which is used for greenhouse cultivations of tomatoes. Next. Nevertheless, unmanned ground vehicles are facing some challenges with their mobile platforms inside the greenhouse. They also tend to sink into soft ground, mainly in high humidity conditions, difficult to move on irregular terrains, and require high maintenance costs. The applications of micro air vehicles in agriculture can significantly resolve such UGP challenges as they are safer, flexible, and low cost. From that, the current situation is using visual odometries, which are not convenient for our users, and GPS, which are not available for indoor scenarios. So it's essential to develop an autonomous and absolute indoor operation system for long-term autonomy. Next. Okay, from these 5 technologies, we found that UWB is the most suitable technology, which will be implemented in greenhouse as Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. We have some fluctuating signals, and RFID and approtex which has low range distance. Next. Okay, from this we propose a solution which the micro air vehicles is fully automated, and it is affordable for greenhouse farmers, and it can be accessed at every confined space. Sorry. Can we proceed to demo video?
A serpentine predefined path is marked to simulate the situation inside a greenhouse where the plants are arranged in rows. The MAV takes off within 2 meters automatically and flies with 0.4 meters per second around the test field.
The most significant impacts of this project is for greenhouse farmers, especially for small-scale greenhouse farmers. They can have an effective monitoring system that can enhance the use of their growing plants by just implementing these products. Besides, this project is also targeted to research, to industry investors as well. Sorry, Orin, can you share the screen?
Please speed up your presentation. You're already taking more than 5 minutes.
Next, please. Okay, this project is mainly aimed to work in greenhouse. The monitoring system can be modified to inspect the health conditions and ripeness of different growing plants in greenhouse, for example, tomatoes and strawberries. Besides, a fertilization mechanical system can be added to this product as well. The main selling point for this product is the accurate indoor positioning system that enables the MAB to navigate according to user predefined path. Monitoring system or other mechanical system can be added to perform a specific task. Although this project focuses on agriculture sector, the product can be extended to other industries as well. Okay, that's all from me. We apologize for the technical issue happened just now.
Okay, thank you. Judges. Any questions?
I need a clarification. So your solution is actually to be able to position the drone accurately within the indoor, right? Not using GPS, right?
Not using GPS, using UWB technologies.
So you're using ultra wide band.
Yes, exactly.
And how the whole thing works to locate that specific location? I'm still struggling trying to understand. Right?
Okay, we will have 4 anchors to place at the corners. Sorry, I can hear the echoes there. Okay, we will have 4 corners, 4 anchors to place at the corners, and then a UWB modules to place on the MAV. So that the 4 anchors will send signals to the MAV's UWB model to get its locations.
Okay, so you're using interpolation technique, right? From the four angle. Okay.
Yes, correct.
So what if the whole thing, but greenhouse is typically squarish lah.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
So do you need a line of sight for this application?
Yeah.
If it's blocked, will that signal still get through?
It will affect the signal if it's blocked by metals.
Okay. Okay. Because in the greenhouse, some plant go very tall, some plant go high, and it could be.
Yeah.
It's not ideal situation where you just locate those.
But you're affected by the metals, the presence of metals.
So what is the commercial values of your solution? Because you can actually do a marker. Commercial values of your solution.
Okay.
Okay. The thing like the RFID tag lah. You fly to this place, this is the row, and you fly to this place, this is the row, and done deal, right? You get me? When you plan a greenhouse, typically you can actually map up at the planning stage, right? You predefine all the rows, right? Because you don't keep changing the structure of that greenhouse and how you are going to plant the fruit, the tree, right?
Yeah. So sorry, I'm not really understand about that.
Now you have to understand how the greenhouse operate, right? Who need your drone?
Of course, it's the greenhouse owner.
You have rows and all those things, and you can actually index it very well, right? By hard code the location as well, right? Because that's called crop planning, right? Now you talk about I don't know who is your customer that really face this problem.
Okay, our customer, we are target for greenhouse farmers, the greenhouse owner. which are conducting for now we are targeting for farmers which are conducting tissue culture banana seedlings business.
Tissue culture. Okay. So you are trying to identify the bad one, right? From that whole bad.
Yeah, correct. And then send the bad locations to the owner so that they can quickly identify which plants are unhealthy.
Okay, thank you. All right, then next I open for Judge comment about the team.
Okay, it's me, Shuhaida Haiti. Sorry, Tan and team members, I don't feel convinced with this product because you highlighted quite a lot of time that your proposed customer would be the small scale greenhouse. I am not convinced instead in terms of how significant you want to use this drone just for the small scale. I would believe that if you, because it's just small scale, you can just, it's reachable, by these greenhouse owners by not relying on the drones. Okay, if you are focusing on larger scale, I would be convinced. Okay, and plus another thing is that I'm not that happy that your system can only detect the health status. Whereas in the current state, in the current market, we do have the drones, the system that can in fact check whether there is enough water, the condition of the soil, even the leakage in the irrigation system. So I'm not convinced. Okay, sorry team, that's all from me.
Okay, any other comment? Okay, if no, then we shall proceed to the next team. Okay, so the team is coming from the winner from DHL Express Design Challenge, right? And before we start the judging, then we will have a view at the showcase video.
Shipping. My favorite Bulls player, Scottie Pippen.
Warning. Hi. What you got for me?
In terms of what?
Packages.
That is a DHL jacket, and Vertibonks obviously have the reference to DHL.
The first colour that it's in is the iconic DHL yellow.
Assembling the DHL experiment.
Okay, so the theme is MY207. The project title is Automated AI Assistant from Swinburne University. And the members are Dennis Lim Chia Yin, Daryl Lai Wei Kiet, and Gabriel Kong Chi Hao. Tim, are you ready?
Yes. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so hello everyone. So I'm Dennis Lim from Team MY207. So our project is titled DHL AI-driven chatbot assistant, which is to create a smart chatbot system for the company to use. And before I start showcasing our project, I would like to mention the problems that the customer service are currently encounter. The problems that they currently encounter. So the problem is that now, why do we need a chatbot? Because after or before sales, customers tend to encounter problems and need to ask questions. And the customer service will be crowded with customers, and customers have to queue to wait to be served. And the need for the customer service to provide a high quality service is important, because if they does not provide a high quality customer service, it will impact the customer's perceptions towards the company's brand. And they try to solve this problem by using a chatbot, but the current chatbot are not preferred by the user, because the chatbot are not able to fulfill like the questions they ask. Like they ask the chatbot a question and the chatbot does not understand. And from the statistic that I found from Microsoft, they have said that the current state of their own chatbot, the effectiveness of their chatbot to provide accurate answer has dropped as much as 20%. And 40% of their customer does not want to use chatbot and prefer to like call the customer service center directly. And I know that our team looks like we are just creating a chatbot which can answer the user's question. But however, that is not the case. And our main focus on this project is actually to create a more human-like chatbot, which is capable to understand the user's sentences and answer similar to how a human would. So the innovativeness of our project is that we are trying to create a more human-like chatbot. What this means is that the chatbot will be able to learn new sentences and also understand the intent of the customer, what is the customer is trying to do. And besides that, we also have text autocorrection to autocorrect the text sent by the user, and sentiment analysis to like understand different kind of sentences that the users might ask, and also fuzziness logic to search more accurately, search the database, search the shipping regulation more accurately. So why do we have this text autocorrection in this function? Because we do not expect the customer to like ask perfect sentences like I want to know shipping regulations of books in Thailand. The customer might type want to know shipping regulate of books in Thai. However, as you can see here, the intent is the same, which is trying to search for books in Thailand. So yeah, the chatbot will be able to autocorrect the text and understand what the user is trying to understand the intent of the user. And the next one is the sentiment analysis, because users tend to ask questions in different kind of way. Like instead of asking is toys accepted in Thailand, the users might ask, can you send toys in Thailand instead? With sentiment analysis, the chatbot can detect the similarity in the sentences and also extract the keyword, which is toys and Thailand, and then use the keywords to search for database, so more accurately, like extract knows directly what the users want. And the last algorithm is the fuzziness logic, which is used to search database more accurately. So the customer are more satisfied with the answer, because like let's say if the customer are trying to search for medical equipment, but they do not know like the perfect word, the accurate word for medical equipment, and they type in equipment only, and then the chatbot will be able to retrieve all the shipping regulations related to equipment to let the users know if the users just type in equipment. So at least they can like get more accurate answers of the shipping regulations. So besides that, we also provide an admin page for the company or maybe the developer of the company, because we do not expect them to have like prior knowledge on cloud computing service and how to make changes, or more technical part. So we have an admin page for the admin to like monitor or also make changes to the chatbot system. And the impact of our project is that we can help to prevent customer from getting frustrated and increase the productivity of the company, and also save cost of having the need to maintain a high quality customer service 24-hour. So how do we prevent customer from getting frustrated is that we save the customer's time, because some customers, like if you ever go through the experience of like, let's say you have to ask for something from the customer service and you have to queue, and then you call them, you have to wait a long time to queue, and some people could spend half a day trying to resolve an issue. So with a chatbot that are able to understand and act like a human, it can like save the customer's time and increase the productivity. Is that I think we do not have. I understand that there is a problem. Like if the chatbot is fully used by the company, the customer service agent might be replaced. But however, I think that is not the case, because the service agent will be able to focus on other tasks such as marketing, like push the company sales more, instead of like need to focus fully on customer service. And then besides that, I think that the company will be able to save costs, like does not have to hire like a lot of employees to maintain the customer service system for 24-hour. And for the potential of commercialization, it is easy to deploy, and our chatbot system is also affordable. So what do I mean by easy to deploy is that we have a blueprint or template of our chatbot is readily available to like deploy. And then what we only need to do is only to customize. What do I mean by only to customize is that, let's say, because this chatbot system is for DHL, right? The customer might ask, can I send shipping regulations to Thailand, send something to Thailand? But let's say if our customer is a restaurant, the question does not make sense. So yeah, the only thing we need to customize is the question. Let's say instead of asking, can I send drugs to Thailand, I can like, I need to customize the questions to be like, is nasi lemak available today? Yeah. So that's what I need to do. And for affordable, mostly the cost comes from like hosting the database hosting the data in the database system. So, and we have calculated the cost based on AWS services, and it costs less than 100 ringgit per month. So yeah, I think the chatbot system will be quite affordable, like less than 100 ringgit. You can like have a chatbot system to be used. Yeah. So yeah, that's all from our project. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Team MY227, open for questions from judges.
Hi, Dennis.
Yeah.
So one quick question. How you know the effectiveness of your chatbot to answer all the questions from the user? The effectiveness, how long your chatbot can quickly answer the question from the user?
Or how long does it take? Yeah. Actually, it takes around 1 second. Like just now, on the part I mentioned about the sentiment analysis, right? You can extract the keyword toys in Thailand, right? It can immediately, in 1 second, it can extract from database the regulation of toys in Thailand is blah blah blah. Yeah, so that's why we also include the sentiment analysis inside the chatbot system. So to extract the keyword and quickly get from database in 1 second and straight pass it back to the user.
So how about if the question can answer by the chatbot? Is there a possibility? Is there possibility that the no answer from the chatbot?
Yeah, if let's say there is no answer that could be given to the user, right? We have an admin page like to list down all the no answer, and then the admin can update update it inside the chatbot. So the next time the users ask the same question, you'll be able to reply. So that's why we have like an admin page. And besides that, instead of manually, the chatbot will be also can automatically update by itself lah. But we have an admin page because let's say you do not want to wait for it to automatically update. You can straight update. So the next time the user asks the same question, you can understand, can reply.
I think my experience with chatbot so far is very frustrating. I never get things done. Right? To be honest with you. And my feeling is that I actually think that the company is trying to save costs and provide below par services to me. Right? So now this is the perception. Whenever I want to complain, the moment chatbot, it turn me down. I don't want to talk to chatbot. Right? And worst thing is multiple thing, and you do very dumb. The chatbot is very dumb. And somehow the system cannot detect that customer is frustrated. And you should talk to a live person. So how do you sense that? I mean, I've been talking to Post Laju, Maxis, you know, all right. So I think there are a lot of good thing about chatbot, but I think the acceptance and reliability is a question. And customer, in fact, you think that this is a better customer service. To me, I don't think chatbot is a good customer service. Right? That's the whole thing. So I think when you add the sentiment, how do you detect that? Like emotionally, people are frustrated by number of. It's like duration of services. Like people on the chatbot keep talking already for 10 minutes, you still cannot solve the problem. So are you going to get a live person to handle or what? You know? So how do you provide that services to guarantee the customer satisfaction? And it is now is not doing the very well lah. Most of the chatbot lah.
Yeah, that's why our aim of our project, right, is to like we try to enhance like to include multiple algorithms like the sentiment analysis, the text autocorrection. We try to like maximize the understanding of the chatbot because I think that able to understand a sentences is the key of communication. So that's why we try to like make our chatbot like trying to understand the user's sentences and like get the accurate regulations back to the user. So yeah.
So far, have you have a comparison of your sentiment analysis, you know, and all those things compared to the previous version?
Yeah, I think that's a mistake from my part because I forgot to like show the result in our project. I tried to like show the innovativeness, the impact. I forgot to like actually show the result in our presentation. Yeah, I think that's a mistake from my part as well.
Okay, thank you. And open for comment from Judge.
Okay, hi Dennis. Actually very good. One of the very good innovative project to replace the customer service, which is the user need to wait a long time for the response. But you must make sure that how the effectiveness of your project to answer the question from the user and how you guarantee to make sure that project you fulfill the satisfaction from the user. Okay.
All right.
Very good.
Okay. Any other comment?
My comment is that I think overall the projects are running okay, right, from outside, right? But I think from your side, you are not very clear to tell all of us, right? After you implement all these sentiment analysis and all those things, how much have been improved, right? In terms of number of minutes of engagement for each case, in terms of a rating of customers, right? So the impact of your project is not well brought up, surface out lah. for us to say that, okay, now you have enhanced this thing and that's your contribution, right? It's all about this is my solution, but there's no proof or there's no evidence, there's no solid data to say, yes, there's an improvement, right? And in fact, you also have to outline the matrix, right? You did not outline the matrix of customer satisfaction is right? Waiting time, solution, engagement time to solution, and so on. So you need to lay out the matrix. What is the customer indicator that is good? Then you develop your system to actually achieve that customer matrix, satisfaction matrix. So I think that matrix is not very clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, judges. Next, then we shall proceed to the last team today for the presentation from a winner of Sarawak Energy Design Challenge. And before we start the judging, then let's watch the showcase video from Sarawak Energy. Okay, so the theme is MY245 with the project title Distribution Line Fault Alert System, DLFAS, from UTAM. The members are Ng Chi Yuan, Wong Chi Un, and Sun Wei Sheng. Team, are you ready?
Oh, okay. Let me share the screen. Okay. Can you see the screen
Yes,
now?
yes, we can start now.
You can see I'm changing it. Okay. And hi, we are from team MI245, where we are doing our distribution light for alert system. Imagine that when you are reading a book or watching TV at night, or out of the blue, your vision goes black, and you're thought you're having some kind of medical problem, and then you hear the sound of the ceiling fan is starting to slacken, so electricity has gone off. So this is exactly what the problem we are trying to solve, to have a quick recovery of the power supply by the electric supply company. In this project, we were trying to build a distribution light for alert system to locate the faults, to help the faulty to be fixed quickly. The biggest problem we need to tackle in this is the limitation of the cellular network as the power tower were built in the rural area. So we implemented the LoRa technology in our project to extend the transmissions coverage. We have designed a LoRa mesh network, which will identify the best routes to the gateway by using the tower nodes. So the tower node is installed on the top of the tower for a reason. It is to make sure the presence of the line of sight where there will no obstacle blocking the transmission of the signal and have a wider transmission area. Thus, the problem can be solved by using this kind of the LoRa mesh network method. Besides that, we also do some comparison between other products with the Delphas. So apparently we have the similar functions with the product A, B, where it is deployed on the overhead slice and to locate the faults. The difference is that product A use the GSM and SCADA system. Product B use the above 2.5 generation cellular network and cloud-based analytics platform. Delphas use the LoRa technology, as I mentioned just now, and Microsoft Azure cloud services. So in short, the product A make use of the GSM technologies, and while the product B makes use of the 2.5 generations cellular network. It is hardly to work in the rural area to transmit the data. So Delphas use the LoRa technology to solve the problems. On top of that, we also utilize the Microsoft Azure cloud services, which can work like a SCADA system. Also, it can help us to save the cost, like no need to install a server in a room. So what is the benefits of implementing the Delphas? So first we have to look at the SID and SIV. So SID stands for the System Average Interruption Duration Index, and SIV stands for the System Average Interruptions Frequency Index. SID and SIV indices guiding toward a more reliable distribution network. This table was taken from Solar Energy Report 2019. In this table, we can see that the SID and SIV index, where they were targeted to improve every year, because SID and SIV were very important to measure the performance of an electric supply company. So how Delphas can helps to improve the SID and SIV? Sometimes the fault happens due to the climate change, such as lightning or fallen trees, where we cannot predict it. So when the fault was detected by the Delphas, the technician will be notified and knowing the locations. And the problem of the faulty can be fixed quickly. IoT plays a key role for the fast recovery and improve the reconfiguration of the grid. This also brings the satisfaction to the domestic user, like the rakyat, resistant of the CD, where they can enjoy the constant supplying of the electricity. Also for the industry sectors, the factory can perform their job peacefully with the existence of electricity. Losses of money will be decreased when they can increase their productivity. Thus, we believe this kind of system is very useful and benefits because people really need electrics in their life. So after that, we also search the fault detection topic at the Google Trend. It is said to highlight that this topic is not really an interesting topic to Malaysians. We can see that Malaysia is in the rank number 26 compared to the China is in the first rank for giving the most interest in this topic. However, there is a good news also. The market potential of this fault detection system is still big in Malaysia. So by looking at these business structures, the revenue streams can be the maintenance and installations, project solutions, and product retail. And the potential customer will be the electric supply company and cable manufacturer. So the potential of this fault kind of detection system will be big to commercialize it because Malaysia still haven't have this kind of the digitalized transformation trend, I believe, for now. So it will be a big chance to digitalize the Malaysia now. So that's all from me. That's all from me. Thank you.
Open for Q&A.
How do you test your system?
How do I test my system?
Yeah, you didn't show result or testing.
Oh, the result of testing. I think okay. I tried to open a slide before. Okay, let me for a second. Yeah. Result. I think I couldn't find it. Wait. Let's see. Presentations. We built a prototype, as you can see my screen now, right? So we built a prototype, and this is our result to send the data from Linux to the Tower nodes, and then from a gateway it will upload that to the cloud as a Microsoft Azure. The result can be viewed from here, which is we can see the towers, 1, 2, latitude, longitude, and three-phase current. And for the result, I know you might be asking that how we implement that high voltage current transformer and try to know for the data. So we couldn't do that, but we try to use the Powerball, which is software simulations to simulate the faults, three-phase fault, single line to ground fault, line to line fault, and other more type of the faulty. So by this simulation of data, we can know what type of the data can be performed by showing what the faulty will be happens. And also in migrating this machine learning to classify them. So I think that this will be help us to have our data to bring out our data from a more performing way. I hope that answer your questions.
Yeah, okay. So which can you show the notification part? You said that the system will notify the power provider, right?
Yeah, I from the Twilio account. So okay. You want to see the real, the real screen of the.
Yeah.
Okay. Finding. So actually, we have run out of our credit in the testing time, but I can show you.
The screenshot. You don't have the screenshot of the result? Or?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, wait for a second. Yeah, this one is the. This one is a Gmail email, and this one is the SMS.
SMS. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Okay.
Any other question?
Your solution is mainly to detect what on the transmission line, right? The transmission.
Yeah, detect the current values of the line. Oh.
Dr. Ho, are you still there?
Hello?
I think
Nick.
It is connected.
Yes, while waiting for Dr. Ho. Sorry, I was logged out just now. Something wrong with my line. Don't know if somebody asked about this, but your system is detecting fault on distribution line, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how does your system help in terms of reducing the side fee? Because side fee is it happens frequency. Whereas SID, I think I know because the faster you respond and the shorter the duration. And also because if it's distribution, so usually it's not affecting the like big factories and all that, which is not relying on distribution. How is this going to benefit the manufacturing factories and all that?
Okay. There's a good questions for the sci-fi because it depends on the number of the times the interruption happens. Yeah. For as we having the monitoring system, I believe that in a long time, maybe eventually, they will know where is the locate the 40 positions. The fourth position will be happens frequently, and they might improve their grid at the positions. So eventually, there will be some improvement to shows when they can know the frequent positions of the 40 happens and improve the position. So it will decrease the sci-fi. I guess that yeah, it will help to improve the SID index.
Yeah, Dr. Hon, just now we lost you. Halfway you asked the question.
Yeah, sorry, just now my line was a bit very slow. I think your detection is mainly at the transmission line level, right? The substation, right? So normally, what can be the fault at the transmission line? What are the chances of fault on transmission line?
What can be the fault at the transmission line? Okay.
Do you have data of how many times the fault of outage is due to transmission line?
How many?
The tower and the line, right? Because they are, when you are substation, then substation is a bit more, the area it will be a bit more not so rural, right? But now you talk about transmission, it could be going through the mountains and the.
Yeah.
So now, do you have statistics to say how? Now you're trying to address the fault at transmission line, right?
Yeah.
So how frequent is this compared to other fault like substation? Step down, step up, and then all those protection type of fault, right? So what is the chances of that?
The chances of
the outage, right? You talk about SID and SIDA, right? The outage to transmission line. Do you have that statistic?
We don't have, honestly. Yeah, we don't have. Yeah, we don't find that for the frequently of for the actual data of the number of the interruption happens. We just search on the SID and SIB index. But for the fault detections, for the chances to happen is actually is in the rural area, right? So they might like lightnings, some I can say it's lightning lah. And the climate change, like a very big climate change, where we sometimes cannot predict it to happen. So it might cause the 40 happens, and there are too many kinds of the 40. Yeah. So when the current is strike through the, let's say strike through trees and into the ground, so they will have a very big change of the current values, and the fault will be happens and make some interruption to the transmission line. Yeah, I guess answer you answer. I guess I think I have answered.
In the power system, you have a recovery fault, right? Lightning strike, it shut down for a while, and then the system will start to reset and come back up again, right? Yeah. So that you don't need maintenance. But what you're trying to say, I detect the fault and I can go and deploy the maintenance quickly, right?
Oh, you means the revenue stream, the maintenance and installation part?
No. I'm just trying to see that what is the you see you're trying to address a problem to say, okay, now a transmission line fault, then need maintenance. I can locate the fault and then maintenance can be deployed effectively, right? So that is your solution proposition.
Yeah. Yes.
And so now my question is, what are the chances of the fault that the customer see, the SIDA, right, the frequency, right, that is due to transmission line?
How frequency of the?
Okay. Right, it's like out of 10 fault, 1 is related to the transmission line. Out of 10 is due to transmission line, right?
Yeah.
We do not have the statistic, but we do have a system which is when the fault happens, it will notify the power supplier, and then when the the problem has resolved, it will also notify the power supplier, and so you will know that when the real time status of the electricity at the distribution line. Okay.
So another question is there about what 30,000 kilometers of transmission line in Malaysia. So how many units you need to install to put this in place?
Oh, you mean for the to make sure the transmission of the data, right?
No, I mean like your solution, right? How do you envisage your solution being deployed? Like they are probably 20 over 30,000 kilometers of transmission line.
Oh, okay. So this one has to be in the real situations. We have to measure the real situations, because the reason we try to have another tower nodes is to ensure the data transmission. So the tower nodes will be placed maybe between one gap tower or maybe two gaps tower to the signal, just to make sure the signal can be communicated between the tower node. So the tower node can be placed according to the situations. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I'm start already, and then maybe just the last part is the comment from Judge.
Okay, I'll comment first. Okay, I think for your team, first thing is that you have successfully demonstrated the working principle of long-range LoRa, right? Deploy on a power system, especially in the remote area where you don't have the telco services. So I think that is the first thing. The second one is that your main project is to detect the fault and also at location accuracy to improve cost of maintenance and services, right? So I think you have not shown how many times the fault is due to. I mean, like we solve problem, right? We are trying to solve the SIDE and the SIDA problem, right? So the whole thing is that you've got to look at which one is the biggest problem that contribute to this SIDE and SIDA, and then the utility company like TMB and Sarawak Energy will invest money into it, right, to improve that, like you show. Right? So you have not demonstrated that to see most of the SIDE and SIDA is due to transmission line or a substation and due to lightning strike, right? So I think that is one thing that you need to get some data to support your projects. To actually highlight that impact. So it's a good demonstration of concept and idea, and you have that system work. You have your current transducer that detect the currents, and I think you have that LoRa and transfer position. Okay, that's my comment.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you
If
very
I
much,
may
sir.
add to that, I think the system, the proposal is good. It's just that it's not taking into consideration various other measures for system and quality improvement which are being taken by the utilities. I know that the utilities, they are putting in place like smart monitors, smart meters, at the not only at the customer premises but also at the pencawang, even the small pencawang in your in the kampung. There's usually a pencawang. In the taman perumahan there's usually a pencawang. So like TMB is putting in smart metering using AI and all that already in place. So I didn't see this being taken into consideration in your presentation just now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Especially the judges who have been actually judging all these 8 teams, okay, to decide the Excellence Award winner. And it has come to the end of the judging session today. And then for the judges, then they will actually move on to actually decide who will be the final winner. Okay, and next then I will just pass over to back to Nikki.
All right, thank you.
Nikki.
So that is the end of the Excellence Award judging. Thank you again to all the judges. So while the judges are going to a separate session to discuss and deliberate the winner, we are going to have a short closing speech from Dr. Sumitra Nair, Vice President and Head of Digital Skills and Jobs from MDEC, to close the Innovate Malaysia Design Competition 2021 Grand Finale. Dr. Sumitra, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam MC. A very, very good morning to all the industry players and teams who are on the call. I know the judges have left the call to go into their final judging. So let me begin first by addressing some of the key industry partners who are in the call. I think first of all we have Dr. Nur Azmi, alias Senior Vice President of Research and Talent Management of CREST. Dr. Ho Po Jin, CEO of Dreamcatcher. Other representatives of the industry who I understand include the IEEE, the Institute of Engineers Malaysia, as well as the Institute of Engineering and Tech, IET. Also would like to wish a very good afternoon, actually, we've already crossed the noon, to universities who are on the call, university faculty members, staff, distinguished guests, and last but not least, of course, all the competing teams who are probably, this is like a nail-biting moment for all of you, waiting for the results. And I was listening to your pitches, your final pitches. I'm sure it will all go very well. And regardless of the outcome, I'm sure all of you have already grown through this process, during the competition. So just also I'd like to thank the organizers of Innovate Malaysia, the competition today, for inviting me to give these closing remarks at the annual Innovate Malaysia Design Competition grand finale event for this year. And not sure if many of you are aware, but this is the 11th year that this competition is running. And MDEC has been supporting government agency, right from the inception of the competition back in 2011, until today. And I'm glad to see a growing number of companies that have been coming together to support this very, very important, what has become a very important event in our ecosystem as far as developing local tech talents are concerned. So it's a well-known, in fact, becoming a household name when it comes to developing tech talents from universities. I would like to especially commend some of the key industry tech partners that I know are on board this year, especially AWS, CIDEC from USM, Intel, Keysight, Microsoft, as well as Silterra for coming together to organize the competition, as well as for your contributions in supplying the technology platforms and tools. I would also like to commend the organizers as well as some of the other partners who are alongside this journey, including CREST, DHL, Longi, Science from Sarawak, and Sarawak Energy as well. Thanks to all of you, the participants have been given this opportunity to tackle real-world problems and making their competition projects more relevant and impactful to the industry and society, despite having to do this remotely. And I'm sure we all agree that competitions like this benefit students, and in this case, especially the final year students who are encouraged, from what I understand, to use their competition projects as their final year projects. Now, this competition aims to groom globally competitive industry-ready talents, inculcate innovation, culture, and promote the adoption of industry platforms in universities. And this will, of course, also help the industry's growth and transformation to become a more higher value-added, economy, where we can also start to see hopefully more higher value-added R&D activities. I'm also happy to note that the major engineering professional bodies, including IEEE, IET, and of course IEM, are joining forces to offer special awards to the competing teams this year. So thank you to all these bodies for your strong support. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we all know that, starting from last year, we've all been in this COVID-19 pandemic, and it's caused major disruption. And of course, not the least to our, students who are here today. We know it's been tough for you because you've not been able to go to the labs, to do your projects. But hopefully through this competition, and I know the industry would have come up with creative ways, on how to overcome this challenge of not being able to do things physically. And so hopefully through this competition, you have been able to continue with working on your final year projects from home. I was also made to understand that not just the industry and tech platforms and tools, but students also received industry training and mentoring, to polish up the technical skills as well as soft skills, and to guide you as you tackle the project challenges that you faced, I'm sure, right, as you went through the process. And so today it's so great to see how this competition has evolved to become a very effective platform for industry academia collaboration, and this is something which is always very tricky and very challenging to achieve. How can we actually achieve this closer collaboration? But I think Innovate Malaysia, there is definitely something there, and we should look at how we can scale these kinds of competition models which involve industry, academia, as well as government. Definitely, it is something to be emulated. Now, and how I understand, what I was told is the universities supply their supervisory and research expertise, as far as the final year projects go. And the industry has been giving all your state-of-the-art technology platforms, throwing all the real-world problems, as well as your domain expertise. And then the government and the engineering bodies are coming forward to enable, the wider participation and greater impact of this competition. And so in this way, it has been able to produce these talents who are really, some of the brightest sparks that we have in the universities, who hopefully in future go out to take on roles in product development, research, as well as commercialization. And this is definitely aligned with MDEC's mission of advancing Malaysia's economy by accelerating digital transformation. One of our key thrusts in MDEC's focus is on cultivating and nurturing this tech talents, developing tech talents, with the hope of strengthening the quality of our workforce as we become an increasingly digitalized economy. And some of the things we've done, I'm not sure if many of you are aware, but some of the things we've done include trying to look at how we can foster collaborations like what we see today to strengthen the talent pipeline. And we've been doing this both in universities via the premier digital tech institutions. So I'm sure, and I saw the list of universities, some of the competing teams are from these PDTIs, so kudos to you. And you know, what we do, the spirit of what we do is exactly what this competition is about. So I really want to applaud the organizers for taking it beyond the premier digital tech institutions to impact the wider community of universities. On top of PDTIs, what we also do is we work with schools. So we go further up the value chain to work with the Ministry of Education to get our school students to not just use technology, digital technology in this context, but also to create their own digital innovative projects and creative projects to solve real world problems. And hopefully what this does is it will not just improve their familiarity with digital tech skills, but also the problem solving and critical thinking skills, which are, you know, becoming increasingly important for the future of work. And, you know, not just the future of work, but even in work today, yeah, in the current situation that we are in. Now, on top of that, in the last few years, we've also ramped up our efforts to help, you know, reskill and upskill the existing workforce. And this may be of interest to the participants of this competition. I know you're nail biting, and I know that this is probably not the time you want to hear this, but hopefully some of what I'm sharing now, you know, will stick, and maybe even if it's not immediately, it may be something which will trigger some interest amongst you. And a few things that we currently have for those who are going into the workforce or already into the workforce is one of it is called the Let's Learn Digital, and this is an initiative that we started last year, offering free courses via Coursera. This year we've just launched the latest edition, which is offering free digital marketing courses, yeah, for all Malaysians. So to all students who are here and industry players, you know, you can encourage your employees, your team members. It's free digital marketing courses that are being offered by Facebook, Google, and LinkedIn. So it's not just the courses, but the certification is also free. So do check that out if you have some time. We've also got, you know, because, you know, we do understand with digital today, everybody's talking about the importance of digital skill, but, you know, where and how do you actually get upskill and reskill? And so we've helped you by putting together a digital skills training directory. You can Google it and you will see it on our web pages. And this is where we've tried to bring to you courses which we've gotten industry practitioners to review and endorse. And so if you're wondering, you know, you want to get into data science, not sure where to start, you know, have a look at the directory, because it will guide you and show you, you know, beginner level courses, intermediate courses, advanced courses, and all these courses have already been reviewed and endorsed by industry practitioners. So they're not just, you know, academic or not just courses for the sake of courses, but they are quality courses. So do check that out. On top of that, for participants and also companies who are here, one of the initiatives that we started last year is called the 42KL. And this is basically a computer programming school. It's a coding school based on a model that was initiated in France by a tech mogul. Yeah, it's a tech billionaire, the telco billionaire actually. And we've now brought this model into Malaysia together with our partners Sunway Education Group. And this basically, it's not just for school leavers. It could also be for those of you who are completing your degrees, but you feel you need to further hone and further strengthen your expertise in software development. It could be something for you. And it is free to all participants, but you need to pass some entry requirements. And if you pass those entry requirements, which are all hands-on exercises, then you actually get to join this. And so the track record of 42 worldwide is that majority of their students, their cadets, they call them, actually get jobs within 1 year of joining the program. Although in reality, it takes about 2 to 3 years to complete all modules. But unlike a traditional academic institution, the difference with 42 is that the focus is not on you completing the program, the focus is on you getting a job. And so do check that out, 42KL. Again, Google it and you'll find all the information. Now, I'm sure, all of us can't wait, ladies and gentlemen, to hear the final results of the competition today, probably sitting at the edge of our seats right now. And I'm equally excited for all the competing teams. And to, all the participants here today, I'm confident that you will go out and shine in your technical careers and contribute to the country's vision to become a high-income nation. And this will be, whether you decide to join the industry, working for a company, whether you decide to embark on a research career, or even if you decide, that you want to go and become a technopreneur, I'm sure you will shine, because going through this process, through this competition, and I'm sure even in your university education, and to the fact that you have come this far today, speaks mountains about your abilities and your talents. So, whatever the outcome of the competition, please have this confidence that you have really, really made it this far, and it hasn't been easy. And kudos to all of you, despite having to do this from wherever you are, not having access to a labs, you've already come this far. So well done. Now, to all the industry players who have given your time to train, mentor, and even serve as judges for this competition, you have played a special role in nurturing these promising talents, as they go out and embark on their journey moving forward. So with that, again, I've come to the end of my closing remarks today. Hopefully the judges have the results waiting for you. And again, congratulations to all of you, all the competing teams who are here today, and all the best as you move forward and venture into your future. Thank you, and back to our MC.
Thank you, Dr. Sumitra, for an uplifting closing speech. Much thanks to MDAC for the support over the years for the Innovate Malaysia competition. And can everybody just turn on your cameras for a moment?
Let me count down. 3, 2, 1.
Now, the moment you have all been waiting for has arrived. So the special award winners for the Innovate Malaysia Design Competition 2021. First, the IEEE Social Innovation Award. This award is awarded to the project with the social impact innovation. The winner will win a cash prize of 1,500 ringgit. So the winner is MY186 from USM with the project title Smart System for Temperature Checking, Hand Sanitizer and Data Profiling Record. Team member is Lee Chu Yu. Advisor is Associate Professor IR Dr. Rosmi Wati Muhammad Mokhtar. So congratulations to the team. Well done. Okay, next, moving on, is the IEM Best Paper Award. So this award is judged based on the final project paper submitted. The winning team will receive a cash prize of 1,500 ringgit. And the winner is MY046 from USM also, with a paper titled Plant Health Monitoring and Indoor Positioning for Micro Air Vehicles Using Deep Convolutional Neural Network and Ultra-Wideband. So the team members are Tan Shu Chuan, Ching Po Ling, and advisor Dr. Ho Han Wei. Congratulations. Well done. All right. The third award for today is the IET Green Technology Award. So this award is for the best project related to green technology. So there is a 1,500 cash prize for the winning team. And the winner is MY248 MNU Cyberjaya. The project title, Development of an IoT-enabled photovoltaic battery renewable energy system. So team member is Muhammad Hafizul Ikhwan bin Rizwan, with team advisors, Dr. Lee It Yi and Dr. Ngu Eng Eng. So congratulations. Well done. So this would be award number 4. The Dreamcatcher Best Demo Video Award. So this award is selected among the top 5 grand finale demo videos with the highest likes on Facebook. So the team will take home a cash prize of 3,000 ringgit, and the winner is MY008 and the project titled My Rehab, an intelligent 6-minute walk test, 6 MWT monitoring and tracking system for home-based rehabilitation. So team members are Abdul Rahman, Crystal, and Teo Sani. Team advisors are Dr. Jasmine Howe and Mr. Arif Rahula. Congratulations to the team. We will have a look at the winning demo video produced by the team.
This is Sarah, and she's like many others who are suffering from cardiovascular diseases. Cardiovascular diseases are the #1 cause of death globally, taking an estimated 17.9 million lives yearly. Cardiovascular diseases are a group of heart and blood vessels disorders. Patients with cardiovascular diseases may require going to the hospital for undergoing rehabilitation plans. One popular method to evaluate the patient's functional capacity is through performing the 6-minute walk test. The 6-minute walk test is considered a convenient method used by rehabilitation professionals to measure the exercising capacity. Current traditional method of going to the hospital repetitively to perform the 6-minute walk test have introduced many difficulties to patients, including the long hours of waiting and the traveling costs. In addition to that, patients may have difficulties in reaching hospitals if they live in far areas, with having limitations to available solutions to assist the patient in performing the 6-minute walk test in the patient's home. It is important to develop a solution that can provide an easier and a cost-effective method for performing the 6-minute walk test by the patients and provide a better healthcare. In our solution, we present a 6-minute walk test monitoring and tracking system, where the patient can use the Android application to perform the 6-minute walk test at home or any favorable environment. This application is developed by utilizing the built-in Android sensors, where it can be used to track the patient activities, including distance covered, number of steps, and number of laps taken during the test. The application also allows the patient to book his tele-rehabilitation or teleconsultation video call to connect to his doctor. Our solution also includes a web application which reports the data to the doctor or clinician. Once the patient finishes the test, his progress report is sent to the dashboard for the doctor to review his progress. Not only that, but we also provide a web-based telehealth application where both the patient and doctor can get in a call for post-testing consultation or real-time rehabilitation monitoring while performing the test. All done securely with ensuring that patient data are always safe. To demonstrate the 6-minute walk test using the Android app, here is a short video showing a user performing the 6-minute walk test around his home. The user will walk back and forth with the application open to allow it to track the activities and determine the distance covered. Once the test is finished, the results are sent to the dashboard for the clinician to view his progress. For the telehealth app demo, 2 users, who are the doctor and the patient, where they will be able to go on a video call either during the test or after it. This allows a full progress tracking and consultation from home. The main benefit of our system can be summarized in 3 points. Firstly, the user will spend less time on the traffic going back and forth to the hospital for performing the test. Secondly, this system allows a cheaper and alternative way for performing and monitoring the test by allowing consultation from home. Thirdly and finally, reducing any possible chances to waste time for booking or queuing in lines. In short, our system allows performing and monitor the 6-minute walk test from home, making it easier, safer, and cheaper. Thank you for watching.
Great. All right. Now, finally, the overall winner of the Innovate Malaysia Excellence Award 2021. The winner is MY243 from UMP with the project title COVID-19 Wearable Device Authority Monitoring with Edge AI Reporting and Flagging System. Team member is Lim Wei Jie. Advisor is Associate Professor TS Dr. Noor Maniha Abdul Ghani. A big congratulations to the team. We have come to the end of the online grand finale event. Congratulations to all the teams. That is all, I suppose. Thank you for joining us for this event. Have a great week and stay safe, everyone.